crisis-filled tenure. That story from correspondent Mike Gracia.
Michael Carvajal, the embattled director of the Federal Bureau of Prisons, is resigning. The 54-year-old Carvajal, a Trump administration holdover, had been under increasing pressure in the wake of Associated Press reporting that uncovered widespread problems, including serious misconduct involving correctional officers. AP reporting revealed more than 100 Bureau of Prisons workers have been arrested, convicted, or sentenced for crimes since the start of 2019. Carvajal's tenure also included the rampant spread of coronavirus inside federal prisons and a failed response to the pandemic. Tens of thousands of inmates in federal prisons were infected with the virus and 266 died. Mike Gracia, Washington.
In pre-market Wall Street activity, stock futures are mixed. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to it. January 6th, 2022. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day so far. Of course, we, the public, will be inundated with today being the 1-year anniversary, marking the occasion of the riots, the Capitol riots. So we're going to be inundated with that today. So I don't know, my opinion, good day to lay low and watch the news, maybe. Because we're just going to rehash all of that, and I don't know, still too soon in my opinion, so we don't be celebrating or remembering or marking
that
or
camera's off.
Whatever that is there, so I don't know, but it's today.
Cold.
What's that?
It is cold.
Oh, right now, yeah, and it's only supposed to be in the 50s today, so it's not going to be the mid-60s pushing 70 that we're used to right now, so yeah, I'll get you up to date on the weather and all that here in just a few. But yeah, so of course we're going to see a lot of that today. It's, to me, it's a good day to lay low on news, just kind of, because you're just going to re-evoke the same feelings and emotions you saw the day that it happened. And I don't know, is that something I want to want to go down right now? And I kind of think no. So I will choose to lay low today on that stuff. Just my opinion. Anyway, but you said, yeah, it's going to be cold today, colder. It's not like freezing. I know we're a little spoiled here in southeast New Mexico as far as temperatures go. We don't know really what cold means. I know people are like, remember Goliath? Yeah, that was 5 years ago, and that's once a millennium type thing. We normally don't get that kind of thing.
Back when we had a Hastings too.
That's right.
I know, because I had some movies that I rented that I think I brought them back late because of that storm.
I bet they were grace period and late charges at that point.
I think so.
So you're one of the. Oh, was it games or movies?
Movies.
Okay. There was you were probably one of the few people still renting movies at that time, like actually going to the video store and renting movies.
Yeah. There were new movies too, like Mission Impossible, whatever it was, 5.
The latest in cinema.
Rogue something.
I stopped watching Mission Impossible after I think 1. I think I saw the second one.
Ghost Protocol is pretty good.
Yeah, which one's that one? I don't even know past 2.
That's the 4th one. It's
okay.
Jeremy Renner's in it.
Okay. One of them had Metallica all over it. Like Metallica did the theme song for one of them.
Huh. I didn't see the 2nd and 3rd one, so
maybe it was the 3rd one. I think it's the 3rd one. Metallica's the theme song, and I think that had Philip Seymour Hoffman in it.
Oh, really?
I think he was the bad guy in that one, but I never saw it.
Okay.
I saw enough of it from the Metallica musical video, which, by the way, was not my favorite Metallica song. They start going, hey, 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 here I go now. Here I go with Tom Cruise again. Hey, hey. And like, all right, I get it.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. So, yeah, that's my favorite one. But, I did like the first one. That seemed like the original TV series Mission Impossible and everything.
Yeah.
It was that, but now after the second one, it just got ridiculous. They Fast and Furious it up, and now people are like, cars are flying in space and stuff like Fast and Furious. I'm going to do a jump. We're going to jump over the moon, man. And okay, and then we'll slide around, and then get the bad guys.
Yeah.
So, big fan of the Fast and Furious franchise too, as you could tell. Let me give you the rundown. We're gonna replay some interviews today. Yesterday we had Andrew Moore at the Roswell Chamber join us in the 9:00 hour. We're gonna play that interview for you here in just a few. In the 8:00 hour, Robert Sherman joined us from the Walker Aviation Museum on Tuesday. Gave us an update on what's happening there. I was going to play that for you here in the 8:00 hour. And then yesterday in the 8:00 hour, we had the folks from the Roswell Refuge join us, Leslie Carrera and Valerie Ward. Got an update from them, so I figured we'd play that for you here in the 9:00 hour, about 9:15 or so this morning. Plus, we'll have all of your features that include the news, both of the local and national variety, along with your town hall business updates, Kim Commando, Hannity, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. There's something else I was going to mention, and I done forgot what it was. Oh, well, maybe it'll pop into my head a little bit later. It is 11 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on that weather. Like I said, it's going to be a little cooler today.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It looks pretty good today, but we do have colder air moving into eastern New Mexico. That'll keep us around 50 to 55 on our afternoon highs today. A little bit breezy, but we should get plenty of sunshine. Overnight, clear and cold with our low dropping into the mid-20s, and then we're back to the mid-60s and a pretty nice day coming up on Friday and sunny, 70 by the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 28 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 58%. So those winds are, well, maybe they are blowing a little bit. Winds out of the north at 17. And I was like, I don't remember thinking it was that breezy when I came in, but as I look out now, I kind of see the trees, the leafless trees, whipping back and forth. Whipping and nay-naying back and forth there. So maybe it is a little breezy out there. For the day, though, sunny skies, highs in the mid-50s, 55 for a high today, with north winds at around 10 miles per hour. Those winds will shift to the southeast a little later this afternoon. Tonight, clear skies, an overnight low of 24 degrees. Winds will be out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, we're looking at sunny skies, warmer, back into the warmth. The basking in the warmth of southeast New Mexico. Sunny skies, a high of 68 on Friday, so just shy of 70. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, mostly clear, with an overnight low of 34 degrees, and winds out of the southwest at around 3 miles per hour. Saturday, just downright pleasant. Sunny skies, highs in the 70s, near 70, right at 70, with west winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Shifting to the south later in the day. Saturday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 34. Back chilly again on Sunday, though. Partly cloudy, highs in the mid-50s, 56. And then Monday, when you head back to work and school, mostly sunny, highs in the low 50s, 53 for a high there. And that We'll be in the mid-50s on Tuesday. They're saying there's a chance that maybe some rain showers on Wednesday with highs in the upper 50s. So we'll see what that does. Always use the moisture. It's only at 20%, so I don't know. Maybe that'll increase by the time we get closer to midweek next week. All right, it is 7:14. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and then on the other side of the break, we're going to play our interview we had with Andrea Moore, Executive Director with the Roswell Chamber. She joined us yesterday in the 9 o'clock hour, giving us an update on what's happening there. We'll play that for you next. Don't go away.
Having trouble keeping up with the conversation? Here on Earth Hearing Center can help. Here on Earth is locally owned and operated and have been serving Southeast New Mexico since 1955. Let their experience help you with a free hearing assessment. If you do need a hearing device, they will guide you through every step of the process. They accept all types of insurance, including Medicaid, and all of their devices are made right here in the USA. Call and schedule your appointment today, 575-622-0375, or come by 2800 North Main, Suite 2, across from Target in Roswell. Here on Earth Hearing Center, get back in the conversation.
Happy New Year! Isn't that what we usually say this time of year? But is happiness what we really need? Maybe it would be better to wish each other a joyful New Year, or a contented New Year, or peace-filled New Year, or maybe best of all, a COVID-free New Year. Joy, contentment, and peace, that's what the world really needs. We're coming off a crazy time of year when our world should be most focused on joy that comes from Jesus. But instead, we turn to a time of anything but contentment. In the book of Romans, Paul offers up this blessing in verse 13. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that by the power of the Holy Spirit you may abound in hope. Wouldn't that be a better wish for our world for a new year? From our family to yours, we wish you a joyful, contented, and peace-filled New Year.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
When I'm ready for new furniture, I don't want to wait for it. I go to Glenn's Furniture, where everything is ready for immediate delivery. Beautiful power reclining furniture, gorgeous dining room sets and bedroom sets, and the world's most comfortable mattresses. Glenn's has the quality furniture I'm looking for at the best prices around, in stock and ready to go home. So don't wait around. Hurry to Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda, delivering for free since 1953.
ENMU Roswell offers high school students the opportunity to get a head start on their college education journey into healthcare. Through the Allied Health Careers Pathway, high school learners can enroll in dual credit courses that introduce them to a wide range of careers that include emergency medical technician, paramedic, nursing, occupational therapy, respiratory therapy, medical assisting, phlebotomy, and nursing assistant. Start your healthcare career path at ENMU Roswell. Contact your high school counselor for more information.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The ball on top of a flagpole is called a truck. Mess with your friends today by pointing at a flagpole and say, "Hey, check out the truck on top of that flagpole." Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Executive Director for the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, now officially in capacity here.
That's right.
Andrea Moore with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, happy New Year.
Yeah. Absolutely. Woohoo.
Happy 2022. Let's talk legislation real quick,
okay.
Just to kind of get out of it, because generally speaking, this time of year, you guys get hot and heavy getting ready for legislative session.
Yes.
That's normal in a normal non-COVID world, because generally, whether it's a 30-day or a 60-day, there's a lot of legislative receptions that happen in the evenings, and generally this is an opportunity for various organizations and municipalities and things to kind of showcase and talk to our legislators and things. And the chambers have one usually scheduled, and the Roswell Chamber, RTG, all the chambers from around go up there and kind of show off the benefits of the various communities which they represent. Is any of that happening this year? Or has that all been put on the kibosh?
So I'm going to start with Leadership Roswell first.
Okay.
We are not going up to Santa Fe with Leadership Roswell this year because it has been mandated by the governor that you have to be vaccinated.
Okay.
And to be vaccinated, that requires all 3 shots, your 2 vaccinations plus your booster, which now I'm hearing from the CDC, they're recommending a 4th one.
Oh, Lord.
So I'm sure... So I'm sure all of that's going to end up happening. Well, with Leadership Roswell, we spoke with Rick and said, hey, I'm willing to do it, but here's the
You're
trick.
going to have to make everyone get vaccinated.
If you're not vaccinated, you can't go in. They're not allowing tours at the Roundhouse. You're not going to be able to meet with legislators or the governor or any of that.
And that's really what Leadership Roswell does when they're out there. So
Exactly.
even if they go, where are they going?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to go to the Supreme Court. You can't go to the Land Commission. You're not going to be able to go do all of those things, go to the governor's mansion because they're just not open to tours. So put the vaccination thing aside. They're not doing tours. They're going to probably put the fence up around the Roundhouse again, from what I've been hearing, but definitely the vaccine. And then speakers are very hesitant to come talk to us in Santa Fe because it's all of that rigmarole.
Sure.
So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that.
Okay.
There were some of the receptions are being canceled because, once again, it's all of those mandates that are required once you're in Santa Fe proper.
Yeah.
So Leadership Roswell's not going. I personally will probably be going back and forth up there because I do have personal relationships with people.
And you're still the public events and things. Those are getting scaled back, but
Correct.
The meetings, the actual business of a legislative session still happening, and you as a chamber director will have things to discuss.
Well, and like I said, with my personal relationships, there's ways that you figure out how to work around, and if that means going up to my girlfriend's house and hanging out, and then we just meet over there, or that kind of stuff to get stuff done.
So then,
I'll do. And of course, I miss all my girls, all my buddies. And
you'll make a trip out of it regardless.
That's right. So whether it be official or unofficial, I'm sure I'll go up there at least once. And then, of course, it is only a 30-day session.
Correct, yeah.
So it's going to, from the minute they start that it's gavel down at noon, it'll be just fast and furious.
Sure. And this is, I'm curious, because generally the 30-day, it's mostly budget.
Mostly. And anything the governor deems relevant.
Yeah. I'm wondering, and this is not really a question for you, it's just me speaking out loud. I'm wondering if they're going to give some more guidance to our municipalities on the cannabis stuff.
I've heard that that's a possibility.
Okay, because I know speaking to a mayor and county commission and things, they're all pretty much saying they're leaving it up to us, and we're just all kind of taking like the liquor ordinances and trying to kind of line up with those and Santa Fe, this is where Santa Fe screwed this up. Forget whether
when you have a special session and you say, here's the legislation, you're not allowed to make any amendments or any changes.
Yeah.
It's pass-fail.
Yeah.
It got passed because they weren't allowed to leave until they passed it. So they passed it, they came home, and of course it's wild, wild west down here.
Yeah. And that's the part that gets me, regardless whether you're for recreation or not, that to me, that's not the point here. The point is, if you're going to do this, you better have a plan in place to say, this is what we're doing. You can't just say we're going to make it legal now and say, have fun with it. No, what's all right? It's all right. Yes. Okay. It's going to be legal. We're going to make it available to anyone of age or whatever, the requirements we place on it. But what are those requirements? How do we implement them? All right. What's the rules here? Are they going to be restricted on hours? Are they going to be restricted on where they can be built? What's the protocol here? And none of that was, no guidelines. None of that was given out. And that's where it's a problem, because if you leave everyone to their own devices, some are going to have none and some are going to be over the top.
Yep.
And you're not going to have any consistency there. And so you really need a state guideline here to say, okay, you've got to meet this criteria, and this criteria.
Yeah, at least
outside
have the
of
basics.
That, have those, and then go turn you loose on your
something
thing.
as simple. Look at cigarettes, look at alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
You have in most places are starting to go back up to 21 to buy cigarettes now.
Yeah, I'm hearing that. Yeah.
But 18 to buy cigarettes, 21 to drink alcohol, but purchase alcohol. So, this is a substance that is going to alter the way that you function, the way that you think. It is a mind-altering substance like alcohol. So,
absolutely.
I don't want my 12-year-old to be smoking pot or eating edibles or something. So, we need to know what those checks and balances are.
Absolutely.
So we'll see. I would think that there's going to be something that comes out, but it's 30 days and it's Santa Fe, so your guess is as good as mine at this point.
It's going to be interesting, obviously, but if it sounds like because normally at this time they're saying, hey, any businesses want to bring some stuff over to the chamber so we can give out and hand out. Hold off on all that till we know for sure, but it sounds like that's probably not going to be happening.
And I will always take stuff because even if we don't do it for the 30-day session, there's opportunities for me to go up there.
Okay.
And, worst case scenario, I can do gift baskets and send them to the individual legislators on different things. And, of course, my wheelhouse is this kind of stuff. So be looking for emails.
Okay.
From us at the chamber on the different legislation that's coming out.
Okay.
Some stuff we will, as the chamber, take a stance and say we are for or against what's going on, but a lot of it will be just informational. Hey, this is coming up. Here's the committee it's in. Here's the people you need to contact.
Sure. You as a business, does this pertain to you? Do you need to pay attention to this? And this is the side of becoming a chamber member and the benefit side. I know we talk about a lot of the time, and most of the time, it's promoting your business and helping make your business grow. But the other facet, and I tend to lean this way, the more important role of the chamber is to be that voice for businesses in the legislature.
Absolutely.
To show our legislators exactly what our businesses are going through. So when it comes to make legislation, either helping or hurting these individuals, they at least know exactly what's going on because your chamber is doing a good job of keeping them informed and updated on that. Chamber obviously is a nonpartisan event, so I mean, and to be honest, chambers kind of work like the communities in which they live in. They're nonpartisan, but if it's a very liberal leaning community, the chamber generally goes that direction.
Exactly.
And vice versa. If it's a conservative, it generally leans conservative. However, they're there to represent the voice of the businesses, everybody here. So,
and if there's legislation that comes out that as the community, as businesses want to let me know so I can inform everybody else, let me know because I try to do a pretty good job of knowing what's going on with my contacts up in Santa Fe between elected officials and their staff. But of course, I'm human. I'm one person. I can't be everywhere all at once. So if there's something particular that our businesses in our community want to know or want us to push out, I can put it in our newsletter or in our email. And of course, like I said, we've been really good at just doing our newsletter on Fridays. But because of the 30-day session, you are going to see more emails from us.
It'll get busy here over the next 30, 40 days here.
Because, things change daily, and they may even change,
by the
hourly and stuff. So as it's relevant, I will really do my very, very best to push out the information so that way you can contact your elected officials, or if you want me to take a stance and lobby on behalf, if we get most of our businesses that contact the chamber and say, hey, we really need you to do this, I am more than happy to do that legwork.
Fight the fight.
And contact these people and say, hey, this is what we need you to do. We need you to vote yes, or we need you to vote no. We need you to push it on to the next committee or whatever, because my, I'm going to use an old school word, Rolodex. I have lots of personal phone numbers and emails that a lot of the general public doesn't have, just because over the last 20 years, I've really worked hard to get that make those relationships.
And throughout your career and things, it's not always been the chamber director. You've served with the political parties here, so you swam in those circles and know the connections in those circles, and now you're using that to your advantage as a chamber director. And
100%.
And that's what's going on there. It's much like we all do in our lives.
And I'm happy to do it. So be looking for that kind of stuff coming up, because it'll be fast.
Yeah. Especially that last week of the session there. That's when it'll get really, you think the first, and then because once it's almost fun to watch, because it's when it's watching the government happen in a high pressure situation, which is kind of an unusual thing in government operations. We'll see our U.S. Congress on occasion. They got to get a balanced budget by midnight or something, and so they're burning the midnight candles. But that doesn't happen very often. That's pretty much happens every year in the last week, even of a 60-day, it gets
Correct.
like that too. And so, pay attention. And to be honest, this is where you really need to pay attention, because this is the stuff that can get real nefarious. This is where that's happening. When we talk about progressives and the extremes of both sides and all, they can do some real damage during these 30 and 60 days if they turn enough people.
We'll post links to the different committee meetings. We'll do, I will do my very best to have that up on our website. We'll have our brand new website here within about the next week or so. Madeline has really been working hard on getting the new website up and working. Finally, it's been a year of all of us pulling our hair out trying to get this thing going. So when the new website comes up, it'll be updated. It's user-friendly.
Cool.
So those links will be posted so that way you can see, I need to make sure I look at Finance Committee if there's Zoom stuff so that way the public can participate since you can't be there in person unless you're vaccinated. We'll do our very best to make sure that all of that stuff is posted.
Cool.
And like I said, if there's something I miss, contact me, please.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt my feelings if you go, hey, you didn't put this on there, or where can I find it?
And let us know when we do that. We'll make sure to share it on our Facebooks and all that to help get the word out, to steer people back there to check it out and go see it.
Because if you don't participate, in my opinion, you can't complain.
Well, and it's kind of like what I was when I was on my soapbox last hour talking about the municipal elections here. These elections, municipal, county level, they are as far as impacting what you do on a daily basis, the decisions that come from those results are going to impact your life more greatly than even what
the closer to home, the more it affects your daily basis. Yes, I love to watch what happens in D.C.
Yeah.
It just cracks me up, and I throw socks at the TV all the time. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't affect my day-to-day life as much as what happens in Santa Fe, what happens in Roswell, or at the county commission meetings.
Absolutely.
So going back to what you said, like with the Leadership Roswell Alumni Forum, I agree. Be there in person. Go to city council meetings. Be there in person. Go to county commission meetings. Be there in person. Because there is something to be said about watching it on the video versus being in person, because you need to, in my opinion, watching the interactions.
Absolutely.
That when the public's up there speaking and you're watching city councilors or county commission rolling their eyes, crossing their arms, huffing and puffing, or the smiles and the nods and the okay.
Yeah.
And, you need to see that, because then you get the full picture.
Absolutely.
So then when we have elections, you can make an informed decision and go, oh, wait a second. Sally Joe has been sitting on the commission for all this time, but all she's done is roll her eyes and huff and puff and be, a grumpy Gus. Maybe we need to get somebody else in there. Or, Joe Blow has been great. He's been very supportive of the community.
Absolutely.
Let's continue. So I'm all for, and of course, at the same time as session, we do have our municipal elections. So we'll do the same thing. We'll be posting, as I see the bios, for example, Robert Korn's stuff was in the paper on Sunday. We'll start posting all of that information. So that way you can see who is everybody running for mayor, who's everybody running in your wards, and then you can start making those decisions. Do I want to have, one person over another in a ward? And even though Angela's running unopposed, we'll still post all of her information so her constituents can see who she is.
And if she wants, we're going to invite her up here.
Absolutely.
Leadership Roswell will invite her to the forum to speak for. Obviously, she won't have someone to talk against, but generally how they do that at those events is they'll offer the unopposed candidates like 2 minutes to address the crowd and speak with them and do that. Now, she's under no obligation to do it, but we're going to offer those opportunities.
So I'll be the first one to say congratulations, Angela, on your win for city council. But the next, few months is going to be fast and furious. And then, of course, we'll come out of session and we are going to have our Rise with Roswell breakfast.
Yes.
I can officially...
it's back.
It's back. We will have that in March. I don't have the exact date quite yet, but there is a specific time in March that is Agriculture Week, and we usually do it on that Thursday of the week. So we are hammering out who our guest speaker is, and
Good.
there's a couple that we've really been working on,
I've heard
and one
some
I hope.
rumors and names, and they're all good ones.
Yeah,
So.
so one I really hope we get. So we've been back and forth trying to make an agreement to see who's going to do it, but we are definitely having our Rise with Roswell breakfast.
Now for you non-ranching types, this is a rancher's hours event.
Yes.
It's a breakfast, and it's not at like 8 a.m.
No,
you're
going
to miss the whole thing of it.
7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, 6 a.m. We're out, but here's the. All right, most of you are like, why the heck am I getting up at 6 a.m. to go? The food's always excellent.
Yes.
The guest speakers are always excellent. It really is a great event. It's worth being up at dark 30 to come on out.
It really is.
They're going to have plenty of coffee. So if you come in bleary-eyed, no problem. They'll IV you up to the coffee
That's
and
right.
Get you ready to go. But it really is worth it. Get your tickets.
That's
come
right.
out. This is an opportunity to learn, but also to thank and show our appreciation to the farm and ranch community.
Yep.
You know, that agricultural in this area, we would. They can't go. We couldn't have one without the other.
If you eat, you are a part of agriculture.
Absolutely. And you know, we're very fortunate in Roswell and even Chaves County. We're rather diverse compared to some of our surrounding counties. You know, they kind of live and die by oil and gas. And don't get me wrong, oil and gas helps us a whole bunch too. I'm not going to complain about that, but really, our bread and butter at the end of the day, that dairy industry, farming, ranching. That
drive around Chaves County, look at all the farms and the dairies and
the cattle,
fields.
everything. Yeah, that really is our bread and butter. Pardon the pun here, but it kind of is.
So we're excited.
Absolutely. So dates. We'll get everything out here. Is there still sponsorship opportunities?
We're starting to go, and of course, we're going to reach out to those sponsors that weren't able because the event got canceled at the last minute in 19.
So we got to do some make goods there.
So
and all that.
you know, if you were a sponsor back then, you will still be a sponsor. Of course, I'm gonna ask that everybody. You know, I would love to have money help us pay for everything, but if you've already paid, we're making good on your sponsorship from back then.
But if you want to give us some more, we'll be like,
I'm never going to say no. Jeez.
Right. I'll give you an extra egg. How about
that? That's right. So we're excited for that. We're going to start contacting everybody for that event. Of course, with the new year we're still continuing with Roswell Now magazine, but the contracts are now up to be re-signed for any of the long-term advertisers that we had last year.
Okay.
I'm hoping, and I'm pretty sure that just about all of them will sign their contracts. And of course, we're out looking for new advertisers.
So if you're looking to sign a contract here and want to maybe, lock in advertising for the next year through the magazine, now's the perfect time to come contact the chamber
and get
that done.
We've got advertising opportunities from as low as $200 up to, $3,000 per issue. And of course, that just depends on how big of an ad.
Sure.
If you want a 2-page spread in the magazine, of course, that's going to cost you more. But we have a section called Business Hub that we're really starting to develop that's kind of like a directory.
Okay.
So that's as small as $200 per issue. If you're a member of the chamber, you get a 10% discount on any of our advertising. But advertising is not limited just to our members. It's open to any and everybody. And I've heard a lot of good information from our advertisers that they have seen a return on advertising because
they feel like they're getting money, they're getting investment in their money they're spending.
Absolutely. It gets mailed out to every household in Chaves County, not just Roswell, but the entire county, and it's just shy of 30,000 households.
Yeah.
So you're getting tons of exposure, as well as we take tons to every hotel, all of our banks, like anywhere that does commerce that will allow us to drop off magazines. They're there.
Absolutely.
Restaurants, anybody that allows us. So it's not just the households, but then our overprint we get out into the community.
And of course, if you have not got one in the mail and you're like, hey, I want to call the chamber, we'll get you on the mailing list, or make sure your address is correct in the mailing list.
Exactly.
If you've moved or something and that just never got updated.
And if you've been one of those people, lucky, unlucky, I don't know how you put it, people that have gotten 2 or 3 because your number, your address or whatever has probably been in there a couple of times. Let me know that too, because then I can scrub our address list appropriately. Because I know, for example, at the post office, a lot of places will have their physical address as well as their post office.
Right.
And if you want one copy just sent to one place or the other, let me know.
Sure.
Because we can adjust our mailing list appropriately.
So that way, if you're getting inundated with copies of it, you don't want that. Now, if you want that, by all means, enjoy. But
absolutely.
But if you just want one copy, call the chamber, let them know, and they'll be like, all right, let's which one do you want it to, and let's get it all fixed up.
And of course, if you want to submit content to us, we're always looking for content.
Absolutely.
Anything that has to do with Chaves County. That, like, once again, not just Roswell, but the entire county of Chaves. If you're a writer, a photographer, if you just want to give us an idea.
Sure.
I can't tell you how many people just in the last couple of days have come into the office and said, oh, my gosh, I used to live here, 40 years ago, and this place over here used to be this. Do you know what this building used to be? And telling a story. I'm like, oh, my gosh, would you like to be in the magazine? Yeah, I'll write up a thing, or
I think that'd be a great feature, maybe, because I know, like, if you follow on Facebook, there's a couple pages like Remembering Roswell and things, and a lot of those post and share nostalgic pictures of the community. Maybe that's a section, a feature in each one. Maybe this person will, hey, here's our blast from the past for this episode or this edition, and it's the old Levi's building or whatever it is.
Exactly, that's the kind of stuff.
Yeah.
People that have lived in this community all their lives have said that they've learned something from each episode,
I know,
each
I want
issue.
to do. Now you're doing what I'm doing.
I do it all the time. That each issue that we have, and they go, oh my gosh, I've lived here all my life.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, that's, and then of course we want to always have something about the schools, because it's the community. This is a magazine for the community, by the community, because I promise everybody gets really bored with me very quickly. I am not as interesting as people think I am.
I was like, I'm interesting, but only like this period of time, and then I'm done.
It's, give us ideas. We're always looking. And if you don't think you're a writer or a photographer, fine, not a big deal. We got people.
Yeah.
We'll go out and we'll do it.
Sure.
Of course, things like the zoo. As everybody has noticed, we've had an animal at the zoo. And of course, we're going to highlight the new animals that just came in the next issue. We've got, and of course, there's always different people, places, things. Call us. Let us know with the magazine.
Absolutely.
Lots of opportunities. And I promise you, we're going to be out there knocking on your door. If you don't call me, I'm going to call you.
Absolutely.
Because there is opportunity for everybody. And then, of course, with it being a new year, business after hours, our calendar fills up very quickly.
Absolutely.
Another opportunity for members. Now, that is a member-specific event that we do as business after hours, where you as the business get to highlight your business for whatever reason. If you just want to have a party, we'll do it. But typically it is, a remodel, a grand opening type stuff. But it doesn't have to be that. It's a networking event for everybody, because everybody in the community is invited, but only members can actually be the host of the business after hour.
Yeah, exactly.
To highlight their business. So contact us, because we only do so many a year. So give us a call, because that book is, we're booking very quickly with business after hours, as we always do.
And like I said, I think last time, prior to COVID, you had to book about a year out to do this. We're getting to the point now where we're almost back to that.
Correct.
That scenario. Not quite, but we're close to it.
That's right. So give us a call.
Yeah. So
and if it's open, we'll do it.
I will tell you this: a lot of businesses will use it to mark special occasions, like maybe it's an anniversary of your business. I know we did ours here. It was our 1-year anniversary here in this building, which was about 4 years ago. But that's
then you're about due for another one.
We're about due, but it's like that. Or maybe you've expanded your facility or opened a new facility.
Exactly.
Or if you're a grand opening business or something, that's what we generally people use. I mean, there's no rule or regulation here, but if you're looking for an idea or a reason why to do it, maybe a milestone with your business would be a good starting point there.
Absolutely.
Like that.
And, being back from COVID is always a great reason. Yeah. Hey, we're still here, because a lot of places have closed permanently. So if you want to just, hey, I'm still here.
Yeah, we're open. We're back at COVID. Hey, This is the upgrades and changes we've made to our COVID protocols. Come see it and come and enjoy some food and some prizes while you're at it.
And if you don't have a brick and mortar business, if you're an online business or, a home.
We can host some at the chamber.
We have a great facility at the office. We can move things around and we can have a ton of people in and out of the chamber itself to be able to highlight you and your business as well.
Absolutely. So there's many options here. But again, if you're interested, please reach out to the chamber here today. Like I said, they book up quick. So especially if you've got a date-specific time period, the sooner the better. That way you can lock it down and get it taken care of. What about sheriff's luncheons and all this? Is that going to be back? So
we are going to start doing the sheriff's luncheon. We were trying to bring it back last year, but with Sheriff Harrington's very busy schedule, we were
and now
trying
it's an election
to figure
year
out
too. So I didn't know if that had to change anything or not. Too.
As long as he's willing to do it, we're willing to do it because we do want to, get that information out. And then hopefully after the municipal elections, we can get something going
for the
with
mayor,
and or the city councilors as well, because I do think that there's something to be said.
Absolutely.
To have these elected officials, you need, have access and know what's going on. I will send out as much information because I am that weird, crazy person. I go to every city council meeting. I go to every county commission meeting. I'm starting to go to every committee meeting for the city as well. So I go in because I am weird and crazy and I just eat that stuff up.
This is kind of your wheelhouse. You love politics and
love it. My
that.
kids roll their eyes and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is the most boring." My husband's the same way.
There's a certain breed of people that love it, and you're one of them.
I
That's
do.
Just what it is. Yeah.
So I can give information, but it's not the same as getting it from your elected official.
Sure.
And then ask because I can only give you the information. I can't say why. Somebody voted or did.
You've got your opinions and everything, but at the end of the day,
I'm not the elected. I'm not in charge.
Absolutely, yeah, and hearing it straight from the person that's making those decisions is far better than.
And if there is something
second, third hand
that the community wants us to do at the chamber, let me know. If there's a certain kind of like a lunch and learn or a seminar or something you want us to do that would be helpful to your business or help highlight certain things in the community, once again, let me know. We have that great, beautiful boardroom. And the front office area is just about complete. We've got to put a little bit of border on the baseboards back on, and we're going to get some rugs and the furniture in there. But that office area is awesome.
Good.
We have finally been able to get enough funds to take care of that office area.
Good.
And that's another meeting space because we have this big, huge boardroom that seats up to 45 people
but
comfortably.
If you don't need that much, we got smaller areas.
We'll have a smaller office area that you can come in and check emails, use the phone if you need, or even just a small meeting. If there's 6-8 people that need to meet, instead of the big boardroom, we now have another area.
Maybe you have job interviews and things that you don't want to do, say, at the business. You can come down to the chamber and get that taken care of.
Exactly. And I'm just excited. That's
like
what we did all over
and
Christmas.
what I'm saying is like hiring and things like that. Sometimes you don't want to do that where other staff or things.
Correct.
So if you need an off-site place to conduct that kind of business,
the
chamber is
exactly.
If you're a member of the chamber or even not a member and you want to learn more about that stuff, come talk.
Because there's a lot of things that we do that is for our members, but we are, we can offer a lot of things to non-members as well. Now there might be a charge if you're not a member versus member. And so, but we are open to the public. We are for the community.
And I also want to throw a shout out to nonprofits and things too. If you're needing help in various ways, the chamber loves helping nonprofits or pairing you with maybe some chamber members. We have a lot of chamber members, small business owners that are passionate about certain projects, and maybe we can use that to pair up and say, well, maybe you're into animals. We know a business that loves supporting animals. Maybe let's go pair you guys together. Maybe they can help you out. You help us. We can help there. I mean, we can make those kind of connections for you if you're looking for that kind of stuff.
That's exactly what, if, nonprofits that need a place to have a luncheon. We've got our space. The Kiwanis have come in and had luncheons at different times. I know different committees with Leadership Roswell alumni come and use our boardroom.
Absolutely.
let's see, I think Dairy Producers Board meeting is going to be next week.
Senior Olympics, I think, used it.
They've used it.
Times,
Albertsons does their training.
Yeah.
Let's see, once a month we have the phlebotomists come in. The group that we've worked
squirt
with.
blood all over. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, the vampires come in. And they come in once a month and do their training there. So we have this space, and we are willing to work with you in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
We'll offer water, coffee, and tea at a minimum. If you want us to, make sure that you've got a lunch or a dinner, we're more than happy to help you cater it. Yeah. Now, there is a charge to that.
Sure. But you can help.
But I will be more than happy to make those arrangements.
Absolutely.
And that kind of stuff. That's what we're there for.
Yeah. So reach out. Call the chamber. Give out the number.
575-623-5695.
Very good. And, of course, follow the Roswell Chamber of Commerce on Facebook.
It's a day.
It's a day. The Roswell Chamber of Commerce on Facebook and Instagram. And like I said, the website should be rolling out here in the next couple weeks and getting folks up to date on that. And then, of course, if you have any questions about legislative session, business after hours, or sheriff's lunch, any of the stuff we talked about, don't hesitate to reach out and or come by the chamber. Yep. They're like I said, if the door is locked and it's during business hours, just ring the doorbell.
If you see one of our cars, usually one of the red cars, or Kyle's big black truck or Madeline's gray Jeep out there, we're there. But there are times that we lock the front door for safety reasons. Sure. We have a doorbell. Ring the doorbell. We will come. I promise. We've got the cameras up. We can see when you're there. But come on in. Call us, 131 West 2nd.
Yeah.
And we'd love to chat with you.
Absolutely. And have a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. We appreciate the visit as always. And,
absolutely.
We'll see you next time, all right?
All righty.
All right. 8:55, quick news and commercial break before more news.
The Roswell Museum is premiering One World, One Sky, Big Birds, Big Adventure at the Robert H. Goddard Planetarium. The first screening will kick off with a festive opening night Friday, which will include free popcorn, a photo booth, and giveaways. Doors will open at 6:30, the film shows at 7, followed by the giveaway winner announcements. Chavez County deputies are investigating a drive-by shooting that took place in the 200 block of Avenue D, just west of Roswell. Upon arrival, the deputies found one house that did have some damage. In fact, multiple gunshots were discovered. While canvassing the neighborhood, the deputies found a man hiding underneath a truck north of the victim's home. That man did try to hide a revolver underneath the carriage of the vehicle and refused to obey commands at first. After a brief struggle, the man was finally apprehended. His name is not yet released. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Today, the mother of all conspiracy theories. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. A startup microchip company called Disruptive Subdermals has developed a tiny microchip that's implanted just under the skin on the top of your hand. The chip is pre-programmed to hold all the details of your COVID vaccine history, a kind of electronic COVID passport of sorts. The company also manufactures low-cost handheld scanners for business, public places, and anywhere that requires you to be vaccinated. And there's more. The company's working on a similar chip that measures your body to detect fever. Now, this story in and of itself is not a conspiracy theory. It's real. But when you combine it with the biblical stories of the mark of the beast, or any of that, you indeed have the mother of all conspiracy theories. If you'd like to read more, just Google the company. It's called Disruptive Subdermals. Its CEO says that the chip is coming, and nothing is able to stop it. Get more breaking tech news at Commando.com. If you've ever wanted to make your home feel safer, there's no better time than now. Right now, my friends at Simply Safe are giving my listeners access to their New Year's holiday deals. 20% off their award-winning home security, and your first month is free when you sign up for interactive monitoring. I love Simply Safe because it has everything you need to make your home safe. Indoor and outdoor cameras, comprehensive sensors, all monitored around the clock by trained professionals who send help the instant you need it. Simply Safe was even named the best home security system of 2021 by U.S. News & World Report. Customize the system for your home online in minutes and get free custom recommendations. Plus, no long-term contracts or commitments. But you have to hurry. Take 20% off your Simply Safe system And your first month is free when you sign up for the interactive monitoring service. Visit simplysafekim.com. Again, that's simplysafekim.com for 20% off your system. simplysafekim.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It looks pretty good today, but we do have colder air moving into eastern New Mexico. That'll keep us around 50 to 55 on our afternoon highs today. A little bit breezy, but we should get plenty of sunshine. Overnight, clear and cold with our low dropping into the mid-20s, and then we're back to the mid-60s and a pretty nice day coming up on Friday and sunny, 70 by the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. What happened on Monday between Dexter and Hagerman happened again on Tuesday. It was a boys-girls doubleheader between the two schools, 2 nights in a row. Just to catch you up on some of the small schools' hoops activities, Dexter took care of Hagerman on the girls' side on Tuesday, 72-33, and it was the Hagerman boys still undefeated, defeating Dexter 67-26 on Tuesday. The Hagerman boys will be playing against Mescalero Friday at 7. Mescalero is 7-3. That should be a good ball game. Meanwhile, the Gateway Christian girls still looking pretty good. They are now 8-1 after clobbering Cloudcroft 50-14. They'll play Mesilla Valley at 1 o'clock on Saturday. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
With the SRN News Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Employees of a Starbucks store in upstate New York who voted to unionize last month walked off the job Wednesday, saying they lacked the staff and the resources to work safely amid surging COVID-19 cases. 6 employees who had been scheduled to work formed a picket line outside the Buffalo store, leading Starbucks to close it for the day. 3 other employees remained inside. Chrysler plans to go all electric by 2028. The latest automaker to announce a shift away from gasoline-powered engines under rising pressure to act on climate change. The company said Wednesday that it will launch its first electric vehicle by 2025. On Wall Street, the Dow down 392 points, the Nasdaq down 522, and the S&P 500 off 93 points. With the SRN News Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
What does it mean to be a world-class university? To start, being ranked in the top 2% of universities in the world, and to be the only designated R1 highest research activity university in the state. It's about creating the most opportunities for students. And at the University of New Mexico, we do just that by offering affordable, top-tier education year after year and awarding millions in scholarships to our students. So, what are you waiting for? Apply to UNM at apply.unm.edu.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Roswell is our home. That's why we've all got to do our part to stop illegal dumping. Throwing your trash, clutter, or yard debris in the alleys, sidewalks, or streets is a crime, and it takes time and money to clean it up. Those caught dumping illegally can face fines of up to $500. You can help by taking your waste to the landfill once a month for free with a paid water bill. Call the City of Roswell Solid Waste Department for more information at 575-624-6746. Help keep Roswell clean. After all, do you want your kids to grow up in a dump?
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Slugs have 4 noses, but no fingers to pick them. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:57. Stay tuned next hour, about 8:15 or so. We're going to play our interview we had Tuesday with Robert Sherman from the Walker Aviation Museum. They got a lot going on right now as well, so we'll play that for you next hour. And they're looking for folks to get involved, too, with things. Community, they're trying to get to a point where they're back to opening the museum up full time out at the air terminal there. So they're looking for volunteers, docents. Right now, they're just kind of working around the flight schedule out there. at the air terminal. So, but we'll play that interview for you next hour and get you all up to date there. Vitalant got their schedule out for blood drives here in the month of January. For folks in Artesia, they're having a blood drive today at Central Valley Electric there in the Jack Case Community Room from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. today. Call or text Stephanie with Vitalant if you'd like to get in on that blood drive at 575-840-8178. And again, that's today from 11 to 3 at CVE there on 13th Street in Artesia. Folks in Carlsbad, next Tuesday, January 11th, they're going to be at United Way of Eddy County. They're at 206 East Pecan in the Boys and Girls Club Center from 11 to 3. Once again, call Stephanie with Vitalant to get in on that blood drive, 575-840-8178. Folks here in Roswell, first blood drive of 2022 will be at the Vitalant office next Friday, January 14th from 11 to 3. Once again, call or text Stephanie with Vitalant to get an appointment, 575-840-8178. And you can do stuff online, pre-register. So really, on the day of your appointment, you just roll in. You know, I think they take your blood pressure and stuff, and then away you donate. Real easy, real simple, and it's a great way to give back. Very easy way to do that. All right, it's 8 o'clock. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. It's the one-year anniversary of the January 6th U.S. Capitol attack. The events that day began with a rally near the White House featuring then-President Trump.
We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved. Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore, and that's what this is all about.
At the Capitol that day, demonstrators gained entry by smashing windows and doors and clashing with police officers in a bid to stop the 2020 presidential election from being certified by Congress. This morning on Capitol Hill, President Biden spoke at a ceremony a short time ago marking the anniversary.
Our fellow Americans, state the obvious. 1 year ago today, in this sacred place, democracy was attacked, simply attacked.
In his remarks, the president directly blamed Donald Trump, saying he created and spread a web of lies around the election. For a second day in a row, Chicago's 350,000 school children are not in the classroom. The school district and teachers union are at odds over COVID-19 safety protocols. Teachers want a return to online learning until current infections go down, but Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot says the city will not go back to remote instruction.
We are standing firm, and we are going to fight to get our kids back in-person learning. Period. Full stop.
Audio courtesy of WLS-TV. Anti-government violence in Kazakhstan has turned deadly. Authorities say dozens of protesters were killed during their attack on government buildings. At least 12 police officers also died. Jobless claims rose slightly last week. More information at townhall.com.
Your pets have the same energy they used to? Do they have problems with itching, scratching, a dull coat, or goopy ears? Then your pets need Dinovite.
DINOVITE.com.
For over 20 years, pet owners have trusted Dinovite to supplement their pet's diet.
We started Dinovite, and in our first box, we noticed a difference.
Dinovite is an all-natural daily supplement made from whole foods that help support your pet's immune system, digestion, skin, and coat.
Within 3 weeks, he's not scratching and itching, and he's an all-around happier dog.
Today's commercial pet foods are processed at high temperatures, which bakes out all the essential goodness. These processed foods can lack the essential vitamins, enzymes, and probiotics that contribute to overall good health. Adding a scoop of Dinovite to your pet's food bowl is the answer.
If you love your pets as much as I do, you'll want to do what's best for them to live long, healthy, happy lives. I have 2 cats and 2 dogs. All 4 of them are on the Dinovite.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
DINOVITE.com.
COVID-19 continues to make it rough sailing for the cruise industry.
A breakout of COVID-19 cases has cut short what was supposed to be an 11-day cruise from Miami. The Norwegian Pearl, which left port Monday, returned to Miami Wednesday because several dozen crew members got infected with COVID-19. And a 5-day cruise aboard the Norwegian Getaway that was supposed to leave port in Miami Wednesday was canceled late Tuesday. All told, Norwegian Cruise Line said it canceled sailings on 8 of its ships in the U.S. and abroad to protect the health and safety of guests, crew members, and communities. I'm Mike Gracia.
North Korea says it has successfully launched a hypersonic missile as part of efforts to modernize its strategic weapons systems. The launch comes days after leader Kim Jong-un vowed to bolster his military forces despite pandemic-related difficulties. News and analysis at townhall.com. Defending Australian Open champ Novak Djokovic has been denied entry into Australia.
Djokovic arrived in Melbourne to defend his title at the first major tennis tournament of the season.
Nice to be here.
But his visa was canceled. Djokovic received a medical exemption from the strict coronavirus vaccination requirements at the Open. Many Australians are furious.
I think it's a disgrace. We've all done the right thing. We've all gone out and got our jabs and our boosters, and we have someone that's come from overseas, and all of a sudden he's been exempt and can play.
Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison says Djokovic should be treated just like anyone else.
If he's not vaccinated, he must provide acceptable proof that he cannot be vaccinated for medical reasons.
Djokovic tested positive for the coronavirus in June of 2020. I'm Ed Donahue.
The director of the Federal Bureau of Prisons is resigning amid increasing scrutiny over his leadership. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Howdy.
How is everyone doing? How are you doing today?
Swimming in it, man.
Yeah?
Just trying to keep everybody, healthy and not positive.
Right.
It's so weird. I'm just trying to spread negativity everywhere I go. I'm just trying to keep everybody negative. Yeah, I just stopped by to Deuce real quick. I got to get my kids set up.
All right.
Because it's one of those.
Have fun with the kids. Sean's a busy man right now. He's unfortunately, like many families, dealing with COVID, and he's got family members having it, family members not having it, and he's trying to wrangle the non-family members from having it that don't have it. So, he's doing the dance this week, and probably maybe hopefully next week that'll lighten up some for him. But he's doing that dance right now. So thoughts and prayers for Sean on he's having a rough one this week. So good morning, happy Thursday. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day. Of course, it is a busy. Well, I wouldn't say busy. It's going to be an active day in the news media here with the 1 year anniversary of the Capitol riot. And you're going to hear thoughts. President, Vice President were speaking. I have no idea what they said. I just saw it on the background, was not listening to it. I was busy doing radio stuff. But it's just going to be one of those days.
I'm sure Sean would love to talk about that.
No, I don't. I just think, you know, when you look at it, it's a sad day. It's you got folks on one side, you know, that look at the day and you know, it's a tragedy all around. You don't ever want to see people doing what they did on that day. What I hate is the politicalization of what's been going.
Politicization?
Yeah, I mean they basically, you know, they're pinning it all on one person. Like that's the scapegoat you're trying to make out of this, and I'm like, there's a lot of mental health issues that day in the pandemic world, all of that going on. I'm not, you know, there was a lot of people that did wrong that day. And to just make a scapegoat out of one person for political gain, that's where I have a big problem with this.
I knew I was forgetting something.
What's that?
I forgot y'all's Insurrection Day gifts. I'm so sorry.
Our Erection Day gifts?
Yeah, I completely spaced it on such a special day as Insurrection Day. I completely... I've let you down. I really did.
What is the gift for this? Like chia pet heads? Or
no,
something?
It's first year, so it's paper.
Paper.
Yeah.
Okay. But you know, some people, and in all reality, everybody's right and everybody's wrong on that day. You know what I mean? There's stuff, and it's no different than looking at the riots from the summer with the BLM and all of that side. It's you got one side who's saying. You know, you have violence against people, burning houses, things. What you say is, you know, we want justice for everyone, but you know, and it's you've got two sides. One's trying to condone one and validate the other, and then you got the opposite side condoning the opposite and validating the other. And most of us probably think, well, they're both wrong. They're both wrong, and the problem is the reasons why the people are doing it are overshadowed by their violence. Now, the part that you were trying to make, the point you're trying to make about the fact that you don't trust your government anymore, or the fact that racism is existing and happening right here and in front of our very eyes by people, those got overshadowed by the fact that you just looted a building or attacked the Capitol building.
It's the two wrongs don't make.
And now at the end of the day, everyone's wanting heads for that instead of fixing the problem we have. So enjoy your day of smoke and mirrors, because that's all this is, and see how the problems keep getting ignored.
True. Quick side note, Roy, if you're going to put yourself on camera, you can't be on your phone, or you can't just be all. You got to be at least into the camera. If you're going to put yourself on camera, that is. If you want to zone out, just take yourself.
I just
off
don't
the
know
camera.
what to say about this personal topic without.
Fair enough.
It's my soapbox.
Without getting Mike fired.
It's just me soapboxing. I'm just soapboxing and saying my feelings, and that's what my feelings are. People disagree with me. God bless you. This is the country, and or people agree with me. You know, it is what it is. That's
and we're honestly,
how this country works.
We're a year out. We're a year after the fact. Are we better? Are we worse? I think we're kind of just still here.
Still a big bag of suck, in
still
my
a
opinion.
Big old bag of suck. Yep. Welcome to Thursday, everybody.
And then you compile that with COVID and all that, and people already feeling like they're, you know, being suppressed, and compile that with all that, and there you go. Your recipe for a year ago today. So anyway, I'm done talking about it.
But happy Insurrection Day to you and yours.
I feel like we're in a sci-fi movie now when we do that.
Well, fun fact. The movie Soylent Green.
Okay.
Familiar? Charlton Heston.
Yeah.
I know what you're going to say.
Soylent Green is People was based in the year 2022.
Oh.
Yes.
We have officially reached the future.
All right.
And Soylent is a product you can currently purchase.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a cleaning product.
It's a drink.
Oh, is it a drink?
Yeah, it's a.
It's been around for a while.
I thought there's a cleaning product called Soylent Green.
No,
or
I think
something
you're thinking like Fabuloso, or I don't know what you're thinking.
I don't know what I'm thinking of.
But
like I clean things. Go ahead.
But Soylent, it's a meal replacement. So you can actually, what they say is one Soylent is equivalent to the nutrition you would get in one meal. So you could actually live, and a guy actually did this for like a week and lived off of just Soylent.
It sounds like the device you do with the waste after which you eat your Soylent.
And what's messed up is
I gotta go to the Soylent.
They actually have one that is green, or at least the bottle is green. It's mint flavored. So,
yeah,
you can get Soylent Green.
All right.
Pretty sure it's not made out of people. Although, I don't know.
I sit on the toilet and drink my Soylent.
I remember when it was just one flavor.
Yeah, and that flavor was like chalk.
Soy.
Soy, yeah.
I'm assuming it's full of soy, right?
I think that's a big part of it. It's like based
I
in
would
that. But
think, not the sauce either.
It's like a formula or something.
well, yeah, the nutritional profile is like equivalent to a meal. Like it's you could actually survive on it. You would want to.
I saw a video where a guy went 30 days on just Soylent.
Just Soylent, yeah.
Okay. How's he
I almost
doing?
said Soylent Green. And
I mean, he's
well, and yeah, he just ate food and he was like, I could feel it going down my throat.
yeah, he wasn't happy about it.
All right. Merry Christmas, everybody there.
He lost a few weights, a few pounds.
A few dumbbells.
Yeah, but that was just the production stuff.
Well, they need to work on the name. I mean, that name's awful. Soylent. Yeah. It really reminds me of a toilet when I think of it. So,
toilet?
Yeah. 8:13. On that note, here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It looks pretty good today, but we do have colder air moving into eastern New Mexico. That'll keep us around 50 to 55 on our afternoon highs today. A little bit breezy, but we should get plenty of sunshine. Overnight, clear and cold with our low dropping into the mid-20s, and then we're back to the mid-60s and a pretty nice day coming up on Friday and sunny, 70 by the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 27 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 55%. Winds currently out of the north at 13 miles per hour. Cooler today than days previous. Highs only expected to reach the mid-50s today. Sunny skies, 55 for a high. Winds will be out of the north at around 10 miles per hour. Shifting to the southeast later today. Mostly clear tonight with an overnight low of 24. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Warming back up for you Friday, though. Sunny skies, highs near 68 tomorrow. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Mostly clear with an overnight low of 34 Friday night. Southwest winds around 5 miles per hour. For you Saturday, downright pleasant. Mostly sunny with highs near 70. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, shifting to the south Saturday afternoon. Sunday, partly cloudy with a high of 56, so it is cooling back down once again on Sunday. And then we're going to be floating in the 50s for a good hunk of next week. 53 and sunny on Monday. Tuesday, 55 and partly cloudy. Wednesday, 20% chance of showers, partly cloudy and 57. So we got a few days between now and then. We'll see how that all shapes up. All right, it is 8:15. Let's go ahead and take about a 3-minute commercial break. And then on the other side of the break, we're going to play our interview we had Tuesday in the 7 o'clock hour with Robert Sherman from the Walker Aviation Museum. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Happy New Year. Isn't that what we usually say this time of year? But is happiness what we really need? Maybe it would be better to wish each other a joyful New Year, or a contented New Year, or peace-filled New Year, or maybe best of all, a COVID-free New Year. Joy, contentment, and peace, that's what the world really needs. We're coming off a crazy time of year when our world should be most focused on joy that comes from Jesus. But instead, we turn to a time of anything but contentment. In the book of Romans, Paul offers up this blessing in verse 13. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that by the power of the Holy Spirit you may abound in hope. Wouldn't that be a better wish for our world for a new year? From our family to yours, we wish you a joyful, contented, and peace-filled New Year.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
When I'm ready for new furniture, I don't want to wait for it. I go to Glenn's Furniture, where everything is ready for immediate delivery. Beautiful power reclining furniture, gorgeous dining room sets and bedroom sets, and the world's most comfortable mattresses. Glenn's has the quality furniture I'm looking for at the best prices around, in stock and ready to go home. So don't wait around. Hurry to Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda, delivering for free since 1953.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed, antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Sigmund Freud once believed that cocaine could be used to help treat a morphine addiction. Mike used bacon to get over his addiction to beef. Here's Mike Winters.
That's why I'm sculpted so finely tuned with my Buddha my cake pack. Good morning. It is 16 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Walker Aviation Museum, Robert Sherman back with us. First time in the new year here. Good morning.
That's right.
Happy New Year to you.
Same to you.
Yeah. How's life treating you?
Good.
Good deal.
Could be better in that, we've got some issues. We're trying to get open full time.
Okay.
So what we're doing is myself and Bob Donnell and possibly some other folks going to be going out, opening it up for maybe an hour and a half prior to the noon takeoff.
Okay.
And that's changed from 11:28 to 1:30 starting today.
Oh.
So we try to run out there today, for example. Bob's going to be out there about 12 noon until a little after 1:30 after the plane leaves and place gets all deserted again.
Quiet again.
Yeah.
It goes from 100 miles an hour to zero pretty quickly there, doesn't it?
By the way, you're talking about Groundhog Day. What day is that coming up?
February 2nd.
February 2nd. Oh,
Yes.
that's still a way off.
Yeah, we've got a month away.
Well, another thing for the audience to know, this is really an important date. Thursday, the 6th of January is National Rubber Ducky Day.
Ooh. All I can think of is Bert and Ernie now. Rubber Ducky, you're the
That's right.
one.
I saw that and I said, seriously? I have to find me a rubber ducky, I guess.
Well, I'm sure big rubber duckies, they're the ones that created that holiday.
Yeah, I guess
so. Oh, man. Well, for folks that aren't familiar, the Walker Aviation Museum is located inside the air terminal at the Roswell Air Center. And it is a museum that pays homage to Roswell Army Airfield and Walker Air Force Base that was located right there at the south end of town here up until the 60s there. And also pays homage to this area's role during the Cold War era and dealing with the missile silos and things that Roswell or called several home for Roswell here around the area. So
right.
It's really it's really a cool museum. If you've never been in there, I highly recommend you make a trip out to the airport there. Right now, maybe hang out during the flight schedule, during the midday flight schedule, and come on down and check out the museum.
And usually we've got this large TV screen going and shows, maybe the history of the B-29 and some of the issues that are going on with that. And then also we have a couple touchscreen computers now, like they have down at the UFO Museum, where you walk in and just touch it.
Okay.
And you get a little 2.5-minute history of Walker, and you touch the other screen, you get about a 2.5-minute history of the Atlas missile.
Okay.
And we're waiting for Alan Trevor to come in and add about 4 more items so that you have a choice of 3 things to look at
like
per
a menu.
screen.
Okay,
Right,
cool.
Right, yeah.
Very cool. That's great. So more technology coming into the museum here. I'm curious with the flight cancellations and all that kind of stuff. Did that increase traffic a little bit to the airport for you?
Well, when we were out there, we haven't been out there too much. Like I was saying, we don't have the employees right now. We were looking at hiring someone through the Goodwill Industries.
Okay.
And they provide the salary for them and everything, but we found out that they have to have supervision the whole time they're there.
Gotcha.
So now we're back. Okay, who's gonna be the supervisor and run out there? So we only have about 8 folks in our board right now, but we've got some other things I'll talk about.
Okay.
We may get some other people, and right now.
And I guess you're looking for some volunteers to come be a part of the museum.
Yes, actually we are, and we've got some people that have called us up and said they'd be glad to.
All right.
Maybe come out for I'll go out on Monday and Thursday, and someone will come out on Wednesday and whatever.
Get a rotating
at
schedule.
Least get it open for a little bit when folks are milling around. And when we've been out there, 4 or 5 times, we've got maybe anywhere from maybe 5 to 10 people coming in, just kind of, and they like what they see.
Yeah.
And it's worked out pretty good.
Yeah, it's a great. You get a chance if you're a person that loves talking to people and kind of being a bit of an ambassador for our community. Then we'd love to have you come volunteer. If it's a couple hours a week or more or less, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, wafbmuseum.org. Before I'll mention that again later, but
sure,
that's our website. And go to Amazon Smile when you're buying something on Amazon. We get just a little tiny bit of that money.
Yeah.
Doesn't cost you anything, but
yeah, there's the Amazon Smile program for folks that have gone through that. Yeah, there's a lot of organizations across the world that utilize that, and Walker Aviation Museum. If you go to the wafbmuseum.org website, you'll find the Amazon Smile link there. You click on that, and then I encourage you to bookmark it. That way, every time you go to Amazon, you click on that bookmark, and then every time you make a purchase at Amazon, a few pennies off of that purchase amount go towards the Walker Aviation Museum. Doesn't cost you any extra money. It's on Jeff Bezos' side. He's the one giving up the pennies there, and you can help out the museum. And you get enough people doing that, at the end of the month, the museum will get a nice little check each month to help with operating costs and whatever they need it for. So
yeah,
good way to help out. Very easily way to help out too.
The couple things. Historical briefing today. I'm going to just give a little rundown on the Cold War and Walker.
Okay.
With that, and some other news going on. We've kind of, at least Bob and I and maybe some other folks, were joining forces with Civil Air Patrol, Joseph Bellasini,
cool.
Tom Clark, Stanley Nelson. I'm going to join and become a senior member, instructor, or whatever, for some of the stuff I used to teach and stuff. So, and also we're teaming up with EAA, Experimental Aircraft Association. So between Experimental Aircraft Association, Civil Air Patrol, and the Walker Aviation Museum, as far as the aviation side, we thought we could work as a team better than just separately.
Absolutely.
Getting the youth in Roswell to get interested in aircraft or aviation in general.
Sure. Everyone in that group have the same end game there,
right.
The same goals. They want to do that. So, that's together you're stronger. Let's do that. Absolutely.
And, of course, we're going to continue. Very important, the history of Walker and all that. But at the same time, we've shifted some of our emphasis into science, technology, engineering, and math.
Sure.
So when we we've had so far about, as people may not know, we got a $10,000 grant from Excel Energy recently. Thank you, Excel. And we installed 2 flight simulators. They're called EduStations. They're made by STEM Pilot Incorporated.
Okay.
And you can find that at stempilot.com. But anyway, so far we've had about 46 youth and 11 adults come out. And what we do in that program for that part is we give them a quick little history.
Mm-hmm.
We show them that 2-minute thing on the history of Walker and show them some other items. And then we break them up and kind of get them oriented what we're going to be doing on the flight simulators. and then we break them into 2 groups. Ideal size, and I was talking to Bob yesterday, is about 8 students at a time.
Okay.
So we can get 4 on the 2 simulators, pilot and co-pilot, and then they can trade positions. But we can do up to 12.
Okay.
So we do 6 and 6. But we break them up, and while the half of them are on the flight simulators, practicing taxiing and takeoff, and then just flight, fundamentals of flight.
Sure.
The other half are getting 11 YouTube briefings on all the way from the Venn diagram on determining, what's your best career to maybe pursue in the future, as well as 10 other 3 to 5 minute YouTube videos on 10 different careers.
Okay.
All the way from the day in the life of a wind turbine technician, or do you want to be a registered nurse? Do you want to be a oil field or engineer, and auto mechanic, aircraft mechanic, other type of stuff.
Gotcha.
So.
All the things where that STEM engineering and
we hope to, by doing that, we kind of stimulate something like, wow, I hadn't thought about doing that. I could do that. And we're trying to coordinate with Crumlin Auto Group here with the auto, mechanic, because they've got a good program with Eastern.
Absolutely.
And hopefully get maybe a video from them rather than just a generic video we found on YouTube. But we can, when we do that, we tell them that Crumlin has a program here.
Sure.
And
it's
maybe
the
some other
synergy
auto
there.
Companies here get a hold of us.
Absolutely,
and have
the more the
thing.
merrier. Absolutely. Right. Or obviously some of our industrial, Dean Baldwin's and things in the, if they're wanting to get involved in that side, that would be great too. Maybe even law enforcement, the sheriffs or police or both. That there's certainly a lot of STEM stuff related in that, the science of police work too. So,
yeah.
Absolutely.
And then when they get through, on the way out, we give them, at least 3 sheets of paper. And, actually, while I put the kids to work. When I say kids, they're younger than me, which is not saying much. But I have them. We have a bunch of clipboards and some stuff. So when they're watching these little videos, they rate them. They put them down. What is your age, and are you male or female? And then as they see a particular video, they rate it 1 through 5.
Okay.
1 is like, this was totally useless. I hated it, whatever.
Sure.
Or 5 is like, wow, this is really, really great. So that when we get through and they leave, we can look at that and see, maybe we need to get rid of this video here and get it up. And then also, I ask the adults when they're there, if you're on, website and you find a interesting STEM career video that's 3 to 5, 6 minutes long, give us a call or send it, to our email.
Put it on our radar here.
Yeah, it's on our radar, and we'll check it out, and maybe we'll change it and put that on there.
Absolutely. And it also kind of gives you a gauge, because I imagine, each one's different, dealing with different career fields and things.
Right.
The interest level of the career field in the children's eyes would kind of reflect that scoring too a little bit. Where, obviously a job that's got pilot's going to look a lot sexier to a child than say working on a oil field rig. You know what I mean? Just watching that video, you see the pilot and he's flying a plane. The kid's gonna be like, "Whoa, plane!" And then, so I imagine some of that comes into play.
Yeah, the
too.
one on the aircraft mechanic is this gal that used to be in the Air Force or in the Army.
Okay,
worked on helicopters.
All right,
and she's now a, certified aircraft mechanic, but it's a woman.
Okay,
so it's kind of like, women sitting there thinking, this is not only for guys. Yeah, it could be for girls.
And I hate to burst their bubble, but there's been women mechanics in the military for a long time.
Women pilots now. Too.
Absolutely, yeah. That's
navigators and whatever.
That's been gender fluid. I don't know if that's the right term anymore, but I have no idea. But long. You want a history on how to make things gender fluid? Go watch the military. They've been doing it for a lot longer than I guess civilians have been thinking about this stuff. But
right. And then when they the folks leave, we hand them 3 sheets of paper. 1 sheet is a list of all the YouTube career stuff that we found, highlighted that they saw, but about maybe 50 other ones. And then we give them and then also some YouTube videos on aircraft, flight and pilots, and shows them flying different aircraft.
Sure.
All the way from the SR-71 to U-2 to B-50, aircraft refueling each other, whatever.
Nice.
And So then we give them another sheet of paper that has about 130 or so STEM careers on it. And I say at the top, you go home, get on your computer, check out YouTube on these subjects, and you might find some videos dealing with this particular STEM career.
So that way it kind of gives them a gateway to do their own research and decide, decision making and say, hey, I want to check more out about this. Because really that's what will happen in theory. Once you get the the plant set there, so to speak, and you've got that seed in there and percolating, you got to let it grow. And that's how you do it is, they when you see them doing their own with initiative on trying to gather more information about it, then you're like, oh, the seed has been planted, it's sprouting. So that's great that you guys say, all right, does that look cool? Well, here, when you get home, check this out and see more about how cool this is, and then hopefully they get bit and they're on their own searching for more videos and resources for that.
And then the third sheet of paper is for folks that are really, really interested in flying or maybe being a pilot. We have a list of about 13, actually they're professional videos on YouTube that run anywhere from 10 minutes to 25 minutes long. It's 13 hours of training, and it covers, for example, there's an hour, 3 videos, 20 minutes long of on aircraft instruments. And they got on aircraft related weather. There's maybe an hour's worth of stuff there.
Nice.
And so they can go down through this, and this is, if you watch that whole thing all the way to stuff that how it affects your body and response like that. So
by the time that they go for formal training in this, they'll be well versed in some of the instrumentation and technology.
Because they take instruments and they show you why you need this and go into real detail, and it's really professionally done. So
that's great.
Yeah.
See, they can teach anything on YouTube.
So when
nowadays.
they leave, they got a lot of homework they can do if they want to.
Sure, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, but you're right. There's no joke. They really, you can learn anything on YouTube. It's like there's a YouTube for it. People are like, how do you fix a cabinet? There's a YouTube video. How do you fly a plane? Just go. There's a YouTube video on that.
Oh no, kid came up to our door the other day, and it's a friend of ours, and he says, "Can you fix my?" He got a new mountain bike that has disc brakes that are the hydraulic, on a bicycle. And so I said, I don't know, let's go to YouTube. Sure enough, there's like 2-3 videos on how to adjust your disc brakes on a.
Man.
Number one, are they hydraulic? No. If they're not, and then you got another one. So you can.
Man, you got to take your bicycles to Meineke or something now to get the brakes done on them. Good disc brakes and.
So anyway, you're right.
That's crazy. That's really cool. So now, if families are interested in getting their kid involved in doing the flight simulator program, is it just reach out to you guys, or pretty much, or
reach out.
Okay.
Normally, what we're working through right now, just to give you a rundown. So like I said, we've had about 46 youth and 11 adults come through so far. We had a bunch of homeschoolers just a few weeks ago come through, but we've had groups of we got Merindo Middle School is coming out in about another week and a half with about a group of students, and we're going to break them in 2 groups, and while one half goes to maybe Aircell or to the university, the other half will be there, and then they flip-flop over and eat lunch and stuff.
Very cool. Well, I do want to ask, like, if folks are youth groups, things like that, are interested, is there probably an age appropriate, or
yes, that's definitely, we discovered that really quick on. If you get someone that's like 12 years old, a flight simulator is a big game.
Okay.
And they want to immediately take off, and they want to change airplanes, and they want to fly upside down and crash and see what happens. And,
right.
Rather than being serious about trying to look at the instruments.
Sure. And actually fly a plane.
Out. Right. And fly it and take off. And
they want it to be an arcade
do what
game,
you're supposed to do. Yeah. So we've generally looking at, 7th, 8th graders to high school.
Okay.
And right now we're coordinating, and we have coordinated already with Sidney Gutierrez Charter School, Roswell Independent School District, of course.
Great.
And Ruben Bolaños out there with the STEM stuff. But anyway, Gateway School, All Saints Catholic School, Assurance Home, Civil Air Patrol, and Experimental Aircraft Association, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, New Mexico Youth Challenge. I went over there when they get the new class come in. We want to get some of those.
So you got a pretty good
folks
base
in
there covered there.
Several churches we've gone to and said, "You guys got buses? Come in, just let us know. We can come out in the evening."
Okay.
And youth groups. So anyway, that's kind of what we're
good deal
looking at. And this is open. Dexter, Hagerman, Artesia.
Yeah, we these are Roswell, but yeah, this is if you're
we're kind of looking at a regional.
Yeah,
coverage,
Chaves County
right.
or maybe even Eddy County. Some there want to come up and obviously the impact and the other thing too is we're talking this is STEM based things, but at the same time you're here at the base, you're here at the spot where all the history we're talking about happened. And hopefully some of that rubs off on these kids too. And it's like, right in this spot, these were World War II aircraft were sitting right out in that tarmac out here in front of you and all that. And just, we
had 24 of Sierra Middle School. I think I mentioned that maybe last month.
Mm-hmm.
And 12 at a time. And that was pretty tiring, but about 2 hours with each group. And then they met out in front. It was still fairly warm. They were eating their little sack lunches. So we all walked out there to talk to them, and I looked at their bus driver, and I said, "Get your butt in." No, I said, "Come on in here and fly simulator." So we got the bus driver to come on in and got him on the flight simulator while the kids were eating lunch.
Nice.
So anyway, that was kind of fun.
Yeah, that's cool. So, reach out to the museum here. Obviously, adults listening here that are saying, you know what, I'd love to spend some time at the museum here volunteering to work. That would be great too. Like I said, you need more folks to kind of serve as docents a little bit there at the museum. But if that's not your thing, but you love organizing and cataloging and helping that kind of stuff, they could use a lot of help on that. There's that's the thing about a museum is you kind of collect things.
We got everything up kind of and running, except we have this one room that was a storage room that we've turned into. It's going to be the Atlas display, and that is not up yet because. We've just kind of got everything else rolling, but we've got to get that going. So.
Sure. And then, of course, looking for more to serve on the board as well, looking for some fresh faces and ideas to be a part of the veteran group that's there right now. So would love to have some.
Yeah, and if you want to, get your encourage through your schools and stuff, that's kind of what we're trying to do is work it with that area. But, we're open for adults to look at the flight simulators too, but it's not something that when people walk in, that's another thing I didn't mention, that when people just walk in, since they're pretty complex and we don't want people to use them as toys.
Sure.
It's basically the flight simulators are for youth.
Yeah.
And for an educational purpose.
Yeah, this isn't something you put out in front of the grocery store and put 2 quarters in it and sit on it for 10 minutes. No. This is a little bit more complex.
And then the other thing that I didn't mention, when they leave, besides handing those sheets of paper, they can go home and do their homework. We give them a little card, like a business card, that says on the back, it has a picture of a flight cockpit, on the front card. You roll it over and it says, "I am an EduStation pilot." And then we put their name.
Okay.
And then they can put the date they came in and the number. Because we have a roster that when a person comes in, we keep their first name only.
Okay.
And basically what grade they were in. So they can come back once we're open full time.
Sure.
And show them the card. Says, "Oh, you've been introduced to the EduStation. There they are. Go ahead and help yourself and go back and."
It's kind of like a membership into the club.
Yeah, because they can select all kinds of scenarios, fly 50 different aircraft, land any place in the world.
So kids, if you're listening and you're thinking, "I want to be a pilot when I grow up," now through your own accord here, you can go and in essence get simulator time long before you start any kind of formal training here. So once you're at an appropriate age to start the formal training, you're already 12 steps ahead of the game because in essence, you've got some seat time in a simulator.
And if you watch that 13 hours of stuff on YouTube, you're really up to speed on a lot of stuff.
Absolutely. You might even be able to, knowledge-wise, to skip a few classes.
Maybe replace the teacher.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Certainly would definitely make it a lot easier for you to comprehend and understand it when it comes to the formal training side.
Yeah.
So,
just
absolutely.
A quick rundown. I did that before, but the 10 STEM careers that we have that show the youth when they come in is science, technology, and math overview of careers. Okay, as careers in aviation, a day in the life of a wind turbine technician, what it's like to be an aircraft mechanic, energy careers. Next one is oil well worker career. What does a registered nurse do? ? architectural engineering versus architecture. What's the difference? How to become an automotive mechanic, and roughnecks at work and a drilling rig connection. That's kind of fun because it shows these guys changing pipes and mud squirting everywhere. And it's kind of like, seriously?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Pretty
yeah,
wild. That one's kind of not necessarily STEM.
Yeah.
But it's jobs that are going on around the area. That's kind of interesting.
It's like, and I don't know, but you watch movies and a lot of the careers you just talked about, they show a version of it in movies. The pilots, you Top Gun and Nurse. You always think of like ER, these other shows like that, and oil derrick. They always show like either it's on the coastal, like the shore rigs, but whenever time they show it, it's always like this big adventure of just it's like living on the edge, kind of with just the way the orchestration of moving the parts and getting everything going. And I feel like they enhance all of that in Hollywood. But if any of those kind of sort of come close to what it's like in real life, I feel like it's probably the oil derricks and those ones there, because that's really it's hard work, but it is kind of a bit of a dance the way they do it and who's where and how it's done. And
I know. They're showing how these three guys that are working at the pipes and then one guy over at the controls.
Yeah, it's really the ultimate.
Throwing these chains around the pipe and it tightens up and then turns, and they have these big wrenches they connect the pipes.
Yeah.
And one pulls one way, one pulls the other way, and they're pulled by chains and cables. You're thinking, man, you just lose a finger here. Just like,
sure.
You got to really be careful what you're doing.
But that teamwork and that precision's key on all of that stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, to me that's pretty fascinating. But yeah, so again, you can check that out if anybody's interested in those career fields, youth-wise. Check the video out. Make sure that's what you want to really do. So.
Do we have time to run over a quick history of the Cold War?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. A little quick history. March 21st, 1946, the Army Air Forces gave a newly formed Strategic Air Command the responsibility of delivering atomic bombs in the event of war. In April 1946, several of the 509th Composite Group B-29s were deployed to Kwajalein as part of an Operation Crossroads, which was a series of atomic bomb tests in the Marshall Islands in the Pacific. And that came out of Walker. Starting in May 1946, the 393rd, 715th, and 830th Bombardment Squadrons in the 509th assigned to Roswell were the only atomic bomb mission-ready squadrons in Strategic Air Command.
Wow.
And in September of 1947, the U.S. Army Air Corps became the United States Air Force. And in January 48, the Roswell Army Airfield became Walker Air Force Base.
Okay.
And 30 June 1948, the 509th Air Refueling Squadron was activated as part of the 509th Bomb Wing, and is one of the first refueling units ever created. And using the KB-29M tankers, the 509th, at that time, the bombers could virtually reach any target on Earth because of the refueling.
Sure.
The 6th Bomb Wing was activated 2 January 1951 at Walker, which was equipped with the B-29 and the KB-29M tanker. And in January 54, KC-97 tanker was replaced by the KB-29Ms, and those started to be replaced by the KC-135, which are still in service today.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So in theory, they could run the entire mission out of Walker here with the refuelers and the bombers.
They could take off and fly to any target on the Earth.
And all done right out of Walker Air Force Base.
Right.
Interesting.
And the 3 squadrons of the 6th Bomb Wing, the 24th, 39th, and 40th, were equipped with the heavy bomber, the B-36 Peacekeeper. Had 6 of those big prop engines and the 4 jet engines.
Yeah.
My mother knows that well because as they would take over our house where we lived over in South Adams when I was in high school, the vibration would sometimes shake off little things off of her piano.
I'm sure there was neighborhoods there that knew that plane very well.
Of course, me, I didn't care. I love it. I run out there and I was looking up in the sky and saying, that was pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah. Kids loved it. Probably moms, not so much.
Yeah, that's true. June 1955, Walker received an all-jet B-47 bomber, and the B-47s left with the 509th, which left to go to Pease Air Force Base in New Hampshire in 1958.
Okay.
So they left to Walker. And Walker started receiving the B-52, which are still in service today, in 1957. with a phase out of the B-36 that same year, 1957, and the B-52s remained at Walker until closure.
Okay, so they were there
67.
about 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the construction of the 12 Atlas intercontinental ballistic missile silos, Atlas F missile, that was started same year I graduated from high school, 1961.
Okay.
Because I remember that was really going on big time. And they completed all the sites, and all 12 ICBMs were on alert status by October 62. And that was the Cuban Missile Crisis time frame.
Okay.
And were deactivated in 1965, and the base closed in 67 due to Vietnam budget considerations. So
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the end of that
Interesting.
quick shot of
I didn't
Cold War.
realize that they were at one point the only nuke-capable base in the Strategic Air Command.
That was kind of right after the war there. Yeah.
So basically, if that call came, guess it's all coming out of Roswell. Now, I would imagine there was probably some commands in the Pacific Theater and the European Theater, those things. But when it came to here in our country, that's pretty. I did not know that. I didn't realize it was the only.
Well, at the beginning, later on.
Yeah,
it
they
spread
added
out.
more, but it was the first and only nuke base there for
Because
the
of
United
the
States.
bombers that dropped in Japan, they came back to Walker.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense, and I got to be honest. To this day, it kind of baffles me why it's still not an Air Force base. I mean, I don't know all the ins and outs of Air Force, decision making, but I would imagine, the airspace, the runways, the facilities, that if they maintained them, I just feel like that was an ideal location to do a lot of this stuff that they want to do. But I obviously don't know the game plan. But you would have, to me, I just see the assets that were available at this base and what it did, and I'm kind of surprised it failed to base closures. But who do I know? That was a different decision at a different time.
That's right.
I mean, I guess we didn't, because you look now, because to be honest, we've been on the Cannon Air Force Base has been on the chopping block one or two times. I believe Kirtland was. Holloman, not so much. I don't think you'll ever see Holloman be on base closure, just because the amount of stuff that goes on out there. A lot of it, in my opinion, I don't think the public even knows about. Like they got a whole weather squadron out there, and in my head, I think it's Weather Squadron. I got air quotes up. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think there's some way more important stuff going on over there. That's just my opinion.
By the way, Steve Griffin was a retired Navy weather guy. He was in the weather a long time. He brought out a nice big collection. He's got it all mounted on the wall of professional weather instruments. And when we have a tour, and he tries to get out there and he gives them a quick briefing on the on the weather. This really cool weather equipment.
Okay.
And he's really excited about that. And we have to say, okay, Steve, back off.
Reel it in.
Yeah, reel it in, though. But he's great. So,
That's great.
And he may be one of the people come out and help us with some other tours.
Good.
Let me, before we get move on, thank some of our supporters.
Absolutely.
Excuse me. Roswell Toyota, XL Energy, Pioneer Bank, Featherstone Development, and several individuals, some doctors, Phil Cathy and Paul Engstrom and Lloyd Hughes. Glenn's Furniture gave us some furniture stuff.
Oh,
and
wow.
Air Sale has been a big supporter in the past. So we're getting ready to have probably our golf thing in May on Forces Day coming up in May 2022.
So put that on your radars. If you supported the golf scramble in the past, love to have you back. If you're like, wait, can I do that? Yes, you can. We can get you a sponsorship. I love the Walker Air Force Base Museum golf scramble because I love, not only is it a fundraiser, but it does pay homage to our veterans and to people that sponsor, like to put at the boxes and things pictures of veterans and their family and things. And so you get to learn about some of the people of our past too a little bit, and I love that side of it. So.
Our email is Walker A Museum. Like instead of saying Walker Aviation Museum, we just said Walker, WALKER, A is in Alpha, museum @gmail.com.
Very good. And of course, the website is wafbmuseum.org.
Right.
There you will find the contact information. If you don't remember everything, you'll find contacts there.
Right.
But if you'd like to donate money directly, you'll find a link there too. if you want to reach out about any of the programs or like to be a volunteer or serve in any other capacity with the museum, you'll find the information for you to be able to do that there at the website as well. And also, don't forget, you'll find the link to the Amazon Smile tab.
And we've opened up the idea, and I haven't talked to the city manager yet, but they have Roswell has a big card table with a bunch of stuff they sell out there in the hallway.
Yeah.
And we're looking at maybe why can't we team up with them if they could move that table inside. It kind of depends on where we're going to be open and stuff, so they don't have to download everything and pack it up every day and then come back and put it up.
Gotcha.
We could just have it there as part of our gift shop, maybe right out of the museum. But we'll see how that works out.
Save them some time and maybe use each other to drum up some more visitors and things to come by. So,
correct.
Yeah, I like that. Absolutely.
By the way, I've been out there to eat in that little restaurant's open now.
Yeah.
They got a killer breakfast burrito. I go out there and
awesome. Yeah. I went out there because I flew to Maryland here over the holidays here, and I saw. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to go because once I got there and everything, I was supposed to, like, my sheet said we're leaving at 6:50, and it was actually at 6:30, so I got there about 5:30, and by the time I got checked in and got in line to get in the TSA, I didn't have time to walk over there and grab something to eat. But it did look good from over. It's the same company that does food services at the college.
Yeah,
there.
right.
And I've had their burritos over at the college, and they are a 10.
Yeah.
So if it's anything like those, then you're in good hands. And it sounds like, Robert,
it's kind of like it's kind of egg with over easy, but they kind of roll it over and then wrap it in there. And it had bacon or sausage, whatever you say. I select bacon and potatoes and green chili and cheese. And so I had to go back and tell the cook, where's that cook? I want to talk to him. I said, good job. I brought up here, lived here. Said, this is one of the best burritos I've ever had. So,
nice. All right. Challenge accepted. Sounds like you're going to go have breakfast down at the airport this morning.
And then swing on over. Hopefully we'll be open. Come to the museum.
Have a burrito and a tour.
Yeah.
A B&T.
A burrito and a tour. There you go. Good idea.
Do the B&T special. Very good. Well, Robert, as always, appreciate the visit here. And folks, come check it out. Come check out the museum. Come out today. Look about noon or so.
Is school going right now? Or is it?
Yes, they're back to school.
Today?
Yeah, they went back yesterday.
Oh,
so
okay.
They're back in classes today.
So if you got any adults out there, talk to your kids, talk to your teachers, and coordinate with us, and especially if you're that age group, 8th grade ideal, 8th through 12.
8 on up. 8 on up. There's 7th
we can
on
handle
up.
we can handle 7th graders,
Sure.
but it's just the older, because we talk about careers, and sometimes they're more focused on careers.
Absolutely, and obviously the vocabulary might be a little bit more understandable and things to someone in 7th grade versus a child.
Yeah,
in 4th
also
grade.
give them a quick shot of some Roswell history too.
There you go. Hit them all with it. So awesome. Well, thank you very much. Happy New Year to you.
Same to you.
And we'll see you next time. All right.
Next month.
Yeah, as is, unless something changes big time. It is 7:52.
Goddard Planetarium. The first screening will kick off with a festive opening night Friday, which will include free popcorn, a photo booth, and giveaways. Doors will open at 6:30. The film shows at 7, followed by the giveaway winner announcements. Chavez County deputies are investigating a drive-by shooting that took place in the 200 block of Avenue D, just west of Roswell. Upon arrival, the deputies found one house that did have some damage. In fact, multiple gunshots were discovered. While canvassing the neighborhood, the deputies found a man hiding underneath a truck north of the victim's home. That man did try to hide a revolver underneath the carriage of the vehicle and refused to obey commands at first. After a brief struggle, the man was finally apprehended. His name is not yet released. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
With the SRN News Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Employees of a Starbucks store in upstate New York who voted to unionize last month walked off the job Wednesday, saying they lacked the staff and the resources to work safely amid surging COVID-19 cases. 6 employees who had been scheduled to work formed a picket line outside the Buffalo store, leading Starbucks to close it for the day. 3 other employees remained inside. Chrysler plans to go all electric by 2028, the latest automaker to announce a shift away from gasoline-powered engines under rising pressure to act on climate change. The company said Wednesday that it will launch its first electric vehicle by 2025. On Wall Street, the Dow down 392 points, the Nasdaq down 522, and the S&P 500 off 93 points. With the SRN News Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than the average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second upload and download speed. With Faster, get true 500 meg. And with Fastest, get 16 gigs of download and upload speeds. Learn more at plateaufiber.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted. Roswell Skin Center, a brand new state-of-the-art facility located in the 400 Penn Plaza building here in Roswell, is now accepting new patients. Dr. Brandon Cometti and his team offer a full range of skin care services, including general dermatology, surgical and cosmetic procedures, including cutting-edge laser rejuvenation, Botox, filler, laser hair removal, chemical peels, and other non-invasive options to improve skin health and turn back the hands of time. Call and schedule your appointment at Roswell Skin Center today, 208-2509. That's 208-2509.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
Hey, remember how 20 years ago I switched to Progressive? Well, now it's the future, and I used all those savings to buy this new hologram phone. Because, you know, it's the future, and everything is holograms now.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
Yes, Miss Tubbs. No problem. I'll call someone about the plumbing.
One of Beatrice's properties needs a new superintendent.
Custodial team is not
Someone with handyman superpowers and a concierge alter ego.
Does anyone know any good electricians near Parkville?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
No static at all. Your new home for talk radio is KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in on 9 o'clock. Stay tuned next hour. We're going to replay our interview we had yesterday with the folks from the Roswell Refuge in the 8 o'clock hour, talking about some of the things and getting an update from them. Town Hall News coming up next. We'll be back on the other side of Town Hall News. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. January 6th, the one-year anniversary of the Capitol attack. In a video posted to Twitter on that day 1 year ago, President Trump told supporters to leave the Capitol.
So go home. We love you. You're very special. You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are so bad and so evil. I know how you feel. But go home and go home in peace.
President Biden marking the anniversary, saying democracy was attacked by a mob trying to subvert the Constitution. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham criticizes the president for exploiting the Capitol attack for political gain.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham tweeted, quote, "What brazen politicization of January 6th by President Biden." He continued, quote, "I wonder if the Taliban, who now rule Afghanistan with al-Qaeda elements present, contrary to President Biden's beliefs, are allowing this speech to be carried."
Correspondent Ken Lorman. Also at townhall.com, the number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits rose last week but remained at historically low levels, suggesting the job market remains strong.
U.S. jobless claims rose by 7,000 last week to 207,000. The 4-week average of claims, which smooths out week-to-week gyrations, rose to nearly 4,800 to just below 2,500. Despite the increases, the numbers show that the weekly claims are below the 220,000 typical before the pandemic struck the U.S. economy in March of 2020. The highly transmittable Omicron variant so far does not appear to have triggered significant layoffs. Altogether, nearly 1.8 million Americans were collecting traditional unemployment aid the week that ended December 25th. Bernie Bennett, Washington.
The Dow is down 151 points, but the Nasdaq up 57. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Cultural Marxism is spreading like wildfire in America. It shows up in everything from critical race theory to the LGBT movement to cancel culture. But did you know that this so-called woke ideology is also flooding into the church?
Decide not to be content with merely being a non-racist. Will you decide to make the shift to anti-racism?
The brand new documentary, How the Left is Stealing Your Church, exposes the infiltration of Bible-believing churches and denominations by an anti-God, anti-gospel agenda. From George Soros giving money to Campus Crusade to the Southern Baptist Convention's recent flirtation with critical race theory, you will discover how this false ideology is being smuggled into the evangelical church and how the left is stealing your church. Stream it now for $9.99 or get the DVD for $12.99. Watch on your phone, tablet, or TV. Go to salemnow.com or look for the Salem Now app.
Anti-government demonstrations in Kazakhstan have turned deadly. Authorities say dozens of protesters have been killed in attacks on government buildings, and at least 12 police officers have died.
One of the dead officers was found beheaded. A state news channel has reported police saying there were attempts to storm buildings in Almaty overnight and dozens of attackers liquidated, they say. The reported attempts to storm the buildings came after widespread unrest in the city on Wednesday, including seizure of the mayor's building, which was set on fire. The news channel cites the city commandant's office as saying well over 300 law enforcement officers were injured, in addition to those killed. Kazakhstan is experiencing the worst street protests the country has seen since gaining independence. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Police in Virginia searching for a man who went missing during Monday's snowstorm. Authorities in Hanover, Spotsylvania, and Louisa counties looking for Jacob Whaley. He drove his truck in a ditch and then got out to walk. He remains missing. America has lost an old hero.
The oldest World War II veteran in the United States is dead at the age of 112. Lawrence Ann Brooks died Wednesday in New Orleans. He was also believed to be the oldest living man in the country. Brooks often said the secret to living a long life was, quote, serving God and being nice to people. He was born in September of 1909 in Norwood, Louisiana. He was drafted into the Army in 1940. Brooks served in the Pacific and survived a number of close calls in combat. Jason Walker reporting.
More on these stories at townhall.com. I'm John Scott.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday, everybody.
I got to tell you, if you were going to get me,
today would have been it.
It would have been today. Today would have been definitely the day.
Yeah.
I was paying so little attention just now that I actually had to go back in my head and say, did he actually say 3? Like after today would have been the day, man.
Oh well.
So,
but then you were prepared for it, so you know. I missed what you said, Roy. Sorry.
Oh, I said I wanted to say the Tracy McGarren.
Oh, well, you just did.
Did you?
No,
There you go.
Happy Insurrection Day.
Yeah, that's right. You can't bring that lack of trill up in here.
He's been working on his trill.
Pick your trill game up, son.
Yeah, him and Roy and Tanner both have been working on their trill game.
They have.
So
they're doing what's it? Babel.
Ah.
Yeah. They're learning complex words and phrases. That commercial. You ever heard that?
That explained all the voices in the other room.
He goes, "Aquí." No. What does he say? Dang it. Viendo, hablamos español. And she goes, he says, now we speak Spanish. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And the way he says it, hablamos español. I'm like, no.
Well, that's how
put a little heat into it.
I wonder, like if you go to other countries and like their version of the commercials to learn English, and it sounds badly accented like us doing their language.
Have you ever heard? And if you haven't, I'm about to introduce you to maybe one of the best clips on the internet, and I know you've seen it.
Okay.
There's a clip where it's I think it's Japanese women trying to learn English words and phrases.
Okay.
You know where I'm going with this, don't you?
Is this going to get dirty?
No. They're dancing around trying to learn English phrases, and one of the phrases is, he goes, I have a bad case of diarrhea. And the girls dance, I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea. It's one of the most famous clips on the internet.
I missed that.
It's great. Yeah.
Oh, man. Why can't Pepto people work that
I'm telling you.
I know they got their whole jingle already in play, but, you know.
Like of all the...
little flavor on there.
I don't know why that's the phrase you need to... I mean, it makes sense. I guess if you're, of that descent, you come over...
You ever come here and eat our cuisine?
Start eating American food. It'll get you twisted.
Barbecue. I have diarrhea.
I have a bad case of diarrhea.
Greasy burger. I have diarrhea.
There's another one that was like a commercial where it was like, I think it was like French or German.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, want to learn English or something like that. And it was just like in the front seat, like the song, like they put some song on the radio and it was just all F words. And the guy was like really into it. He was like, learn English?
Well, if it's cussing in a foreign language, is it technically cussing?
I mean, yes.
Well, I mean, but
that's why if
no one knows,
that's why every school kid on the playground learned all of the Spanish curse words. That's why Gabe the Babe screamed at you for a second that time.
I did do that.
Kept launching into I don't remember what it was.
I do.
Oh, was it?
I remember the word.
Was it pinchy?
Pinching, yes.
Yeah, pinching?
Pinching. Pinch your word.
Hey, by the way.
That's what I said, but but I didn't know. I didn't know what it was. I was like, well, what does it mean? No one would tell me. And I was like, what's blah, blah mean? And everyone was like, stop saying it.
Stop saying the word, I'll tell you. By the way, and this is off topic, but we're 6 days into 2022. I noticed the Bob Ross calendar over there.
I have not gotten into that.
I feel like there's 6 pieces of inspiration that we could draw from.
I said before we're currently living in the 20s.
All right, let me.
I said before.
Yeah. While he's opening that, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
That we're currently living in the 20s right now.
Right.
So bring back the flapper girls and the depression.
I'm saying things are cyclical, and honestly, the way things have been going, would you be surprised if by 2028 we weren't in some kind of new depression?
I mean.
What bubble's going to burst next?
I invested in the stock market. I feel it.
I got a new depression. It's
so that's
right there. It's just.
I'm curious if the new depression is going to be when the crypto bubble.
For the love of Pete, man, what kind of packaging they put this thing under? Good Lord.
The calendar itself is peaceful and serene. The packaging, it's gonna annoy you.
Wow, man, that was a job.
I didn't want you to get it.
All right, Mr. Robert Ross calendar here. Universe. Let's see. That's a page. It's like a book, man. Oh, okay. January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Today, I think we'll do a happy little painting, bright and shiny and pretty. Just something that'll make you feel good.
Are there paintings in it?
No. I stand corrected. A painting is there.
Oh, cool.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah.
And it's got a cabin.
Yeah. Not every day gets a saying. Like
so some days are peaceful paintings.
Yeah, so there's January 4th, another painting.
Okay.
January 5th.
Oh, so they're all I think it's mostly paintings.
I think you're right. January 6th, another painting right here.
Nice.
So when do we
Cabin's
get another?
On fire.
I think at the start of each month you get a new.
Okay. There's like a quip and then basically 30-ish days of Bob Ross works.
Let me give you a teaser of February.
Ooh.
You know me. I think there ought to be a big old tree right about there. Let's give him a friend. Everybody needs a friend.
Everybody needs a friend.
Thank you, Bob Ross.
Oh,
I feel
right there,
soothed and sedated now.
We're going to add to that, and that's going to become a tree because there are no mistakes, just happy little accidents.
Happy little trees. All right. Man, more money to the man that ain't Bob Ross. Not for that. It was a Christmas gift, though, so I didn't pay for it. I don't feel so bad.
You really do have a shrine to all things that the people who aren't the Bob Ross family
I know.
Are profiting off of.
But I haven't bought any of it. People
I know.
just give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Bob Ross, but yeah. The only thing I didn't buy that. That was a gift, too. I was going to say the Chia Pet, but nope, that was a gift, too. So, yeah, I have not paid for any Bob Ross things.
We never tried the energy drink, did we?
I did pay for Bob Ross. There's an energy drink?
Yeah.
I have not tried the energy drink. I did purchase Bob Ross paint kits for a gift years ago. Which,
Really?
by the way, dang.
Yeah.
They're a couple $100 a pop. And I was like, whoa, for paint? It's little sticks? Mm-hmm. The hair on them? Yeah.
Does it have a name, the energy drink?
I think it's like, I want to say it's like Happy Energy or something. I don't have my phone on me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you have kids. You give one kid one device and one kid the other.
Yep. And all's quiet in the world.
Until the batteries go out.
Till the charge gets to 0%.
This is how the radio happens, people.
That's right. We're going to replay our interview we had yesterday. The folks from the Roswell Refuge joined us, Leslie Carrera and Valerie Ward, and I got an update from them, so we're going to play that for you here in just a wee bit. Later on, we'll get you up to date with the news of the local variety, and then town hall business, all that good stuff. So that's what's on tap for this hour of the show.
By the way, you are 1 for 0 in 2022 as far as I've been here with variety versus variety.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Just so we're keeping score.
All right.
The score resets at the beginning of each year. It's
Okay.
like it's much like the rankings in AEW.
Yeah, I think I said variety a couple times yesterday.
Did you?
In my
Okay, so there's a 3 for 0.
maybe
3-0.
Although I think I said a tie once already too.
Maybe. See, it's hard to keep track of.
It's hard to keep track as well.
It's like New Year's resolutions.
We need some loyal listener that listens to every word I say. We don't have one of those, but we need one.
Yeah, we do.
And they can keep tabs of those kinds of
A stenographer.
Yes, yes. A official historian of mornings called
Granted.
Mike Winters.
All of our shows are recorded.
I know, but like a stats person.
Mm-hmm.
Like who's going to go back and count the number of times I said something? Someone who has an inordinate amount of free time and an obsession with the show that's probably unhealthy.
And I spend a lot of time on the internet, so I know that those people are out there. I go on Wikipedia. Did you know that there's, and I read this once, I think it's still accurate. I want to say, like, maybe this isn't the case anymore, but back in the day, there was one guy that was responsible for editing like 80% of the articles on Wikipedia.
Oh, really?
Like, he was the one, like, he wrote, like,
Great
almost
power
every-
comes great responsibility there.
Yeah, and it's basically like they showed the guy, and he looks like that dude in the Warcraft episode of South Park. Like, all just, yeah, looked like that guy, basically.
Yeah, but how many times was his work plagiarized in school classrooms across the land?
Oh, so many. So many. Although I will say most schools say, no, you can't use Wikipedia as a source, but
Yeah,
fun
they do.
fact, kids, Wikipedia has sources.
Yeah, you go there for the
Scroll down and look at their sources and use those.
See, back in the day, we had cheat sheets like Encyclopedia Britannica and World Book. That was our Wikipedia.
Do you know what I will say?
Except those were actually accurate because people verified it and stuff.
There's a specific smell that comes with, and it's universal. Every card catalog in a library that I've ever been around smells exactly the same. It's like, I don't know what, if it's one company that's making them and they just like drop little scent droplets in there or what.
I'm telling you, there's a company out there and it's like, I don't know if they're called like Smeller Vision or whatever, and they have rooms.
It's the same people that used to make Ditto paper.
Yes, Ditto paper. There's a room for Allsup smell. There's a room for library book, new book smell, new car smell. There's a whole company that works on these.
I can pinpoint a scent. In Roswell, if you walk into the foyer of the Bank of the Southwest on 3rd Street, just the foyer where the ATM is, it smells precisely like the first day of school.
There you go.
It's, I don't know what cleaner they use in there, but it smells precisely like at least my first day of like elementary or middle school.
If we could only get these people, and I said these people, to work on to work on the stupid popcorn scratch and sniff sticker.
Right.
For the love of Pete, man, that thing does not smell like popcorn. If you eat popcorn that smells like that thing, I'm pretty sure it's rancid.
You literally reminded me of a meme I saw yesterday. It was like the Laffy Taffy Corporation is like, we have, can we just launch these? Like, we have to test one more. Here's our banana flavor. Delicious. Have you ever tasted a banana before? No, I haven't either. Well, let's just go with it.
Right. So that's
what banana is this supposed to taste like? Yeah. But I kind of like the artificial buttered popcorn. Most artificial fruit flavors, like watermelon.
Fake fruit, I love.
Watermelon flavor? I've never had a watermelon that tastes like that.
Nope,
Not
me
my
either.
entire life.
Watermelon tastes like water.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
a little sweet, like water.
Yeah. All right, we better get rolling here if we want to get our interview in. It is 9:17. Time for your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It looks pretty good today, but we do have colder air moving into eastern New Mexico. That'll keep us around 50 to 55 on our afternoon highs today. A little bit breezy, but we should get plenty of sunshine. Overnight, clear and cold with our low dropping into the mid-20s, and then we're back to the mid-60s and a pretty nice day coming up on Friday and sunny, 70 by the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. And currently, hold on, I was trying to multitask. I always do that badly every single time. Currently, 27 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 55%. Winds currently out of the north at 13 miles per hour. Mid-50s for a high today under sunny skies. North winds at around 10 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight with an overnight low at 24 degrees. South winds 5 to 10. Warming back up for your Friday. Sunny 68 tomorrow. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. For your weekend, warm on Saturday, sunny, highs near 70. Cooler on Sunday, low or highs back into the upper 50s. All right, it is 19 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a 3-minute commercial break. I got hiccups there. And then on the other side of the break, we'll play that interview with the folks from the Roswell Refuge. Don't go away.
Being called a fox in your marriage might not always be a good thing. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and my wife, Miss Julie, for the Joy of Marriage.
In Song of Solomon, it says, "Catch all the foxes, those little foxes, before they ruin the vineyard of love." I looked up the word fox, and it means cunning, achieving one's goal by deceit or evasion. A female fox is a vixen, which is spiteful or a combative woman.
Those little things we do to try to get our way can ruin our marriages. Try just being honest and talking through the situation. Do what's best for your marriage, not just for yourself. When Julie and I learned to choose to do what's right instead of trying to be right, our marriage turned around. You will find marriage is so much better when we work together.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Having trouble keeping up with the conversation? Here on Earth Hearing Center can help. Here on Earth is locally owned and operated and have been serving Southeast New Mexico since 1955. Let their experience help you with a free hearing assessment. If you do need a hearing device, they will guide you through every step of the process. They accept all types of insurance, including Medicaid, and all of their devices are made right here in the USA. Call and schedule your appointment today, 575-622-0375, or come by 2800 North Main, Suite 2, across from Target in Roswell. Here on Earth Hearing Center, get back in the conversation.
ENMU Roswell offers high school students the opportunity to get a head start on their college education journey into healthcare. Through the Allied Health Careers Pathway, high school learners can enroll in dual credit courses that introduce them to a wide range of careers that include emergency medical technician, paramedic, nursing, occupational therapy, respiratory therapy, medical assisting, phlebotomy, and nursing assistant. Start your healthcare career path at ENMU Roswell. Contact your high school counselor for more information.
Fergie's Plumbing and Heating now has financing available through One Main Financial. Let Fergie's keep your house warm all winter long. Call 622-2260 today. And when you get a new HVAC unit from Fergie's, you get a $50 Cattle Baron gift card on them. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating, 622-2260.
Pecans are a big deal here in Chaves County. We have some of the biggest orchards in the country, and lots of us have pecan trees in our yards. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether you have one pecan tree or 1,000 of them, this time of year, every pecan tree needs fertilizing. So come see us at Roswell Seed Company, and we'll get you fixed up with the right fertilizer for your pecan trees, so that next year, your nuts will be big and beautiful. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
A good night's sleep is so important. Did you know that proper sleep supports a healthy heart, decreases chances of weight gain, and boosts a positive mood? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental. It doesn't matter your age, sleeping issues can make any of us reach for that all-day cup of coffee. If you know you are not sleeping because of severe snoring or sleep apnea, come visit us. We can make you a small oral appliance that will help you sleep better and live better.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 622-4455.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Goodyear Rubber Company researched and concluded that shoes wear out faster on the right foot than on the left. To fix this, just walk backwards for half the day. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Refuge, Leslie Crow back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
And you've brought with you as well Valerie Ward. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? Let's move that mic just that way they can hear you just a little bit better. Perfect. Good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
How is 2022 starting for you guys here?
It's starting. As I said, we had a little rough start.
Yeah, unfortunately, it sounds like you lost a family member there, and that's very unfortunate. And so
very sad.
Prayers out to everyone there.
Absolutely. She was the shelter manager.
And this just happened recently. Is there services planned yet, or has that all happened? Or?
It hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
And we'll we'll definitely have something for her once we get everything organized. Her mother lives in Florida, so we're going to wait for her to get here. And
gotcha.
And to go from there. And,
so, that's life, and this is it's you're not guaranteed the next day.
That's right.
You're just not, and I'm just thinking in my own personal world where I've lost both of my parents, and I lost one suddenly and one over an extended period, and neither one's pleasant, but I think the sudden ones, they hit you harder, quicker, and then you kind of, whereas at least the long term, you kind of have a chance to at least wrap your head around it and process. So sometimes these sudden losses like that, it hits hard and fast.
Well, just so unexpected.
Yeah.
She actually was, I guess it happened Saturday night, and she was leaving for California on a vacation Sunday.
Oh,
so
man.
everything was packed and
so she was ready for a good time. Oh, man.
Very just shocking when it happens sudden like that. So we would definitely prayers to everybody.
Absolutely. And
everyone she worked with, she was a big asset to our organization.
And I know,
absolutely.
I'm about to say everyone in the Roswell Refuge family are grieving this loss today. But at the same time, you're rallying together because now you have a big void to fill.
Yeah.
With, she was a valuable asset to the refuge, and the work doesn't stop.
Absolutely.
That doesn't stop. And I'm guessing you guys probably, because generally speaking, the holidays are a busy time for the refuge here, and I'm assuming 2021, 2022 holiday season wasn't any different in that regard.
Yeah,
sure.
it pretty much the same. We stayed at our capacity. We're still at a 50%, maybe 60% capacity right now. Since the COVID has hit, of course,
NMDOH regulations and all that stuff.
Right. We don't want to we don't want to use our rooms that share bathrooms, with two separate family members and that. So right now we're just using what we have available to place everybody in their own room, own bathroom.
Gotcha.
And
doing as best you can to keep social distanced and all that stuff. Yeah.
Still following all the protocols.
Yeah.
With the new variant out, we're seeing a big rise in sickness that way. But from what we've seen so far, it at least doesn't seem to be as bad of a.
I think hopefully we're at a point
illness.
now where we're just worried more about getting a cold versus death or hospitalizations.
Right.
The vaccines have at least, I think, brought us to that level. But and we can have debates all day about masks and all that. That's another story for another day. We the rules say we got to wear them right now, so that's what we do.
Right.
But I think and even and what I've been hearing with Omicron, like you're saying, is this may, in the long run, be a good thing because this is kind of maybe the beginning of the end of the COVID, where we're seeing
Hopefully,
the Omicron
goodness.
variants, where we're kind of like it's fizzling out a little
Right.
bit, if that makes sense.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah, so that's what
That's
we're experiencing
knock
here.
on wood.
But here's one thing I know that's a constant. Without the support and help of the community, the Roswell Refuge can't continue to help victims of domestic violence. I mean, obviously, there's grants, there's things that funding that comes. But at the end of the day, you really couldn't do the job without people donating food, donating their time, donating donations, money, donating goods for the thrift store, the furniture, the clothing, all of that. Either if it doesn't help directly by actually providing clothing and furniture for victims of domestic violence, it provides by selling it back to the public and the community, where they make that little extra money. That money in turn goes back to programs, the light bill, whatever is needed to help the victims here. That's where that money goes. So.
Yeah, and I would like to definitely give a big thank you to all of the community that were very generous this year with contributions, money monetarily.
Good.
So we got a lot of really, really nice, generous donations in from a lot of members in the community.
And I'm
this
guessing
year.
like some of the physical labor stuff, especially if it's indoors, probably has to be put on the back burner because of COVID right now.
Right.
I mean, maybe some yard work stuff is okay, but fixing up rooms and things,
Right.
it's probably not.
And hopefully
really an
we're
option
going to
right
be
now.
moving forward with that. We have remodeled some rooms last year and the year before,
Mhm.
and we still need to remodel 5 of our rooms.
Okay.
We had a program several years back, if you remember, where we allowed businesses or people in the community to adopt a room.
Yeah.
And
that was a fun idea.
Remodel it
Yeah.
with us, and I think we are looking to kind of implement that back.
I think
out into the community, if there's any business or any organization or even individuals that would like to do that, and then we put a plaque up outside of the room, the door, in recognition of that people, and certainly give them lots of thanks if they want it. Some people like to remain anonymous.
I think what we should do with that, and if COVID allows, and let's turn it into like an HGTV or a
Wouldn't
Trading
that be
Spaces
awesome?
style event,
Wouldn't that
where
be
maybe
awesome?
maybe you get 2 entities competing and say, all right, you got this room, you got this
Yeah.
room,
That'd
you
be
each get a
great.
designer or whatever, and you're like, all right, design your room, and then we'll have some arbitrary judges judge the best, and some prize that goes maybe back to the refuge
Yeah,
as a charity
that
to
would
help
be
out,
awesome.
and some bragging rights. Just have
Yeah.
some fun with
Yeah.
it, because we can absolutely have fun with these things, and in turn, that's going to bring light and life and enjoyment to that home.
Yeah,
and
it is.
if there's a place in this community that needs as much joy in it as possible, in it is the refuge home, because you've got families coming in, tearing their lives, separating from that life, and starting a new one there. And they come with kids in tow. Generally speaking, that's about it. The clothes on their back and the kids in tow, and that's it. And they've got to reestablish that life. So creating fun and joy in a place that's probably a rough time for these individuals is starting them on the path to recovering and to becoming on the path of the life that they want.
And we've had some really good help from the community, people in the community, different organizations and businesses when we were remodeling this past year. The workers, the advocates, and Peggy, when she was with us, did a lot of painting themselves. They brought bright colors in and painted, kind of brightening the place up. And they're wonderful that they jump in and do that to make it better for everyone, and makes them feel better working there as well. So.
Absolutely. And to be honest, when we're talking about the donations and all that goes so far towards that. Like, you look at the Christmas holiday we just had here. The home tries to make it just like Christmas at your home, with a tree and presents for everybody, and cooking a family holiday meal, and that's what we replicate at the refuge. You want to make it a family home enviroment.
A little comfort, a little normalcy goes a long way. And
so Christmas, having the turkey, having the was that your phone? I was like, that was cool. I was like, oh, it's made it sound like I think it was planned. But first I was like, someone yelling over there, what's going on? But it really by folks donating pies and cakes and candies and stockings and toys for the kids, or or a lot of times they'll say, hey, let's do spa day for some of the ladies there, and they'll go and get the hair done up and they get the nails painted and getting putting some invest time back into themselves, and all of that goes towards the healing process, goes towards one of the big things, and Leslie and I have talked about this. You're tearing down walls too, because victims of domestic violence by nature build the walls. They build their own self-defense so they can learn to cope in those environments. Well, you got to peel that onion off to get them healed, and so they're not going to be receptive generally. I mean, everyone's different, but generally speaking, they're not going to trust a gift horse in the mouth, so to speak. If it's too good to be true, more than likely it is, and that's the mindset they built to protect themselves.
It takes a lot. It
and
sure
so
does.
you have to peel that away a little bit. And so the thought of somebody, just complete stranger out of nowhere, saying, Merry Christmas. I hope this makes your life better. And that breaks away that wall a little bit and says, wait a minute, not everybody's like the people I've been encountering. There are people that generally love and care and want the best for everybody. I need to be more like those people. And so you're leading by example by there. You're really literally showing people how to love again.
Right.
And that's so much more powerful than sometimes even just the cupcake or whatever you're bringing.
Absolutely.
It's that message of, oh my God, there is humanity. People do care about
And
me.
as individuals heal, so will the community itself.
Absolutely. Yeah. So trust me, what you're doing is a godsend by helping out and doing that stuff. It much more than you think. So by the simple act of you just going to the store and buying a bunch of family-size shampoos and toothpaste or towels or any of that stuff and just dropping off at it's much more than that $10, $15, $20 you just spent on beauty products.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It is a life you're saving right there.
It is. And we're just so grateful for everything. A big shout out every year to Target. They just do such a wonderful job every year of donating full gift bags to us to make sure
That's
everybody
great.
has gifts to I think the Roswell Women's Club donated items again this year, which they do every year too. And I'm sure I'm forgetting others, but to everybody that has, it's so appreciated, and it does help us keep running. We couldn't do it without the community,
Absolutely.
like we say all the time, and
Absolutely.
and that is a very true statement.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of this kind of stuff, the thrift store, is it open and regular, or is there some restrictions on that because
The
of
thrift
COVID?
store's open Monday through Friday, back to the regular hours that we've been running, 9 to 2.
Okay.
We are taking donations, no clothing donations at the moment.
Okay.
But we are taking household item donations.
So if you got furniture
for
or
anything like
small
that.
appliances, things like that.
Pots, pans.
Yeah. And all that stuff's
anything
super
like that.
helpful.
Absolutely.
Yes, and probably by February, I'd say we'll be ready to start taking some clothing donations.
Okay.
We got really inundated with a lot,
Okay.
but also then when COVID has come into play, it's just, we feel a little bit safer to
Sure.
kind of not take that.
Things that are good at
clothes like that
transmitting
yet.
germs and stuff easily.
But
and
we'll
stuffed toys and
definitely-
clothing are generally things that do that.
Right.
So.
So pretty soon that it'll be back to as normal as we'll get back to, I guess.
Good. Well, and trust me, and the thrift store and how this works, I kind of did earlier, but in case you missed that, when you donate items to the thrift store there, things like microwaves and pots and pans and cooking utensils and all the things that you have in your house, basically, toasters, ovens, and toasters and all that, coffee pots, all that stuff. When the folks that kind of have done their time and they're ready to move on to their own place or wherever they're going to go next, again, like I said, they come in without the things on their back. So you guys help them by saying, all right, you're free now. Good luck to you. That's not how it works.
Right.
They help set you up on whatever you want to do next, whether it's pursue a career or go back to school or go to a different family, whatever that transition to next is. You guys help them by saying, all right, well, you're going to need some furniture. You're going to need some clothing. You're going to need toiletries, some bedding.
Yep.
These things go with you to wherever your apartment is or wherever you're going to next. Now, that way, you're not going to an empty room. You've got a bed to sleep in. You've got a pair of pants to change into. You got a coffee pot and a microwave to cook a meal in. You have something. So when you donate those items, first off, if there's residents that are ready to move out, they get to, in essence, go on a little shopping spree. Like, do you need a new coffee pot? Do you need a hair dryer? Do you need, what are these things you need? Let's see what we can get here. And it's free of charge. it's theirs for them to use.
Always free, absolutely. For all of our
and then
clients.
vice versa, you help other organizations, like if other organizations have like some homeless folks or something, hey, you let them come over and need help, or vice versa. They got clothing or something, our folks can go over there and get some help
we work
too.
really closely with the Homeless Coalition and CYFD.
Yeah, and then
for, whatever they need as
absolutely.
well.
And then after all of that, if there's like, oh, we still got these beds, now you, the public, can come and say, oh man, I can get that bed for pennies on the dollar here. I'll take that. You pay cash for it, walk out with a great bed, and that cash goes back to help these victims in various ways. Oh, we need to go buy food, or we need to pay the light bill, or pay the light bill, or whatever it is. That's what we're going to do.
All the money that is spent in the thrift store stays right there with the refuge.
So,
and
so if you're donating there, you're really helping people right here locally.
People feel very strongly about they want to donate specifically just to the shelter itself and not have us sell their items.
Sure.
We certainly
those arrangements
appreciate
can be
that
made.
and do that as well. I mean,
absolutely.
That's a personal choice. So we do have quite a few people that
want to make sure that it goes to someone.
They donate a lot of women's clothing. They want to be used strictly for the shelter, and that's fine.
Another thing I want to kind of that's part of the Roswell Refuge umbrella, so to speak, here, as far as helping people and things like that. Like we're talking about all the domestic violence victims here, which they do amazing things, but they also partner with the same program, and these are individuals that help victims of sexual assault.
Yes.
They medically and emotionally, whatever it is, they help them with that. It's basically if someone is a victim of sexual assault, these are the folks that come in and make sure they're okay medically. If the person would like to press charges and pursue that, they will collect the evidence needed to prosecute.
And appear in court in many cases.
Yes.
Kim Hansen, who runs the same program here, is amazing, number one, but, is definitely an expert and is called at the state level and I believe
people
even the national level to speak. And
her and people like her are so appreciated in this community because they do a job that, let's face it, they got to have their mental game on right because they see and hear a lot of bad things. And
we say that all the time.
And when you get surrounded
God
with it.
God bless her, because we could never do what she does. And in the way she does it, she's just amazing. And her team.
Absolutely.
All of her team.
But it's just human nature. If you're constantly berated with bad things, that's going to warp your brain a little bit. And for her to be able to keep helping people and to see the darkest of people and bring light out of that is such a blessing that we have someone like that. So her and her staff and people help her.
They're wonderful.
So by supporting the refuge things, you're also supporting the same program too. And also you work with the offenders as well. That's the other side I want to, I mean, we do live in an age where everyone wants to be a victim and you kind of, all right, there's some debate there. But most of the time, an abuser is a victim themselves, in which domestic violence is very much a cycle. It's learned behavior. People that are abusers, odds are pretty good they were abused themselves
or witnessed it or lived through it in some way.
And so that's the only tools they got in the tool belt. And not that and so not that I'm justifying what they do, because that's not what we're here. But if you don't know any better and someone's saying you're doing it wrong and you're like, well, I want to do it right, but I don't know what the heck I'm doing here, you gotta
you
help
have to
that.
have the tools. You need the training.
And you don't even know a lot of times, especially if it isn't physical abuse.
Yeah.
The person doesn't even have a clue that what they're doing is actually
they don't realize it. It's like, well, I
abuse.
I was raised that way and I turned out fine. Therefore, it's good for you know what I mean. There's that
we
ideology.
see that a lot, and I really I believe so much in our offender program. It's such a good program. It offers so many tools and learning lessons and guidelines and. If you really come in with an open mind, I mean, 99% of the people that have to come are ordered through the courts.
It's their last chance before they're going to see serious time.
They're pretty angry. They definitely all say they don't belong there.
Yeah.
And
which again is a
really,
natural human response.
And if they work the program, we just see it so many times. We'll hear that from so many people after they get a little bit into it. Like, I really didn't even know that was abuse.
Sure.
The
walls come down.
The calling names or the being ugly.
Honestly, I've sat in on that program a few times, and the time period was sprawled out a little bit, and I could see the growth.
Sure, see the difference in the people. So, like, you saw them at like an earlier meeting, and they're very defensive. You see them a couple months later, and you're like,
absolute growth.
They've made
and I
headway,
believe
yeah.
that's the key to prevention, and that can.
What?
You have to work both
prevention
sides of
is the
it.
key.
And we as human beings, if you're not growing every day, you're really not doing humankind a service here. We all should be bettering ourselves every day. And in little, I mean, no, we don't have to do earth shattering every day, but these are people that, and you know what? They're probably going to be huge advocates for against domestic violence when it's all said and done,
Right.
because
we have some really, really big successful
they wear
people
the
that
shoes.
have come out of our program, and
both shoes. They wore the abuser shoes. They wore the abusee shoes, and they have a unique perspective there sometimes. So they can really be the ones that maybe break open the issues in domestic violence.
And we really welcome somebody that's gone through the program and that has stayed out of that, that cycle and has actually broken it after a couple of years to come back and even work with us and become a facilitator for the program.
They're
going to
be the strongest fighters for it.
Absolutely.
Excellent example of you don't have to remain in the same situation day after day. You
Absolutely.
have opportunities to change.
And there's always a big controversy, really, at the state level and federal level about just two different mindsets where, there's a big push towards thinking that the domestic violence offender programs don't work. And they try to cut funding every year. And the funding for it is so much less than the funding for the victim side that we struggle really to keep those programs going.
To me, that's how you fix it.
Well, that's all of our long-term process, too.
Because otherwise, you're just putting Band-Aids on the problem for the rest of your life. If you don't do something about it now, you're going to continue. Now, I got to be honest, if you want a chance of ever having to shut the refuge down because it's not needed anymore, that's where it's going to have to fix is that offender
and it's
program.
really frustrating every year when that comes up, in the legislation. And I have to say we have some very good lobbyists and advocates and legislators that fight for that every year. But it goes all the way up to the federal level, we really don't think that those programs work and offender programs work. Well, of course they work. They work if the person works them. And
well,
it might take a couple of times. We certainly have people that come through our program more than once.
Yeah. What it needs to do, and it's kind of, I say the same thing for mental health. Domestic violence and mental health need to do the same thing. They need to, in essence, turn it into the Susan G. Komen breast cancer awareness type level of funding.
Absolutely.
Where, breast cancer awareness, that's a great thing and all that, but mental health and domestic violence both need to get that kind of treatment. Let's do the runs, the walks, raising bazillions of dollars each year for it, because
the awareness.
Yeah, because I personally think if we could crack that nut in mental health, we're going to see a lot of other problems just not be problems
mental
anymore,
health and drug addiction and mental health certainly go hand in hand.
Absolutely. I would even argue gun violence, domestic violence, all the things we're looking at our world is like, what a kind of awful world we live in. Yeah. I think with some mental health and throwing that kind of money into it, guess what? A lot of those problems, remember, that was the thing. Now we understand what we're doing now and know how
our
to
mental
do it.
health here in Roswell especially is just so limited. We just don't have the
resources, and funding,
the funding, the doctors, the counselors. We just don't have that many, and we have no facilities that I know. I don't think we have any facility left, like an live-in facility for mental health at this time that I know of.
They have the rehab and other stuff. But nothing. Everything's all.
And it sure does all go hand in hand. We're hoping maybe this year, if not by next year, to get some extra funding to be able to actually find an on-site counselor that we would be able to have on staff, at least part-time. And I think that would help. That would just be such a big blessing.
Yeah, and I our legislators and things I love parks and things as much as the next person, but do we really need another park, or should we take that money and let's big time invest in our mental health and our domestic, invest in these things, and let's see if we can actually make dents in them, and then we'll worry about the parks.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
And we go every year to Santa Fe for legislative sessions as a group, as a coalition against domestic violence, and pretty strong people are part of that have some strong voices up there.
Good deal. Well, hopefully headway's being made, and we might have to do a kicking and screaming, and maybe, just maybe, that's our blessing in disguise is COVID and all this stuff is raising the awareness for, hey, we're handling this poorly. Maybe we need to look at ourselves and see what we're doing here and fix it.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing the best in humanity, but we're also seeing the worst in humanity. All this. I know we do see a lot of positive stories in the news about families coming together, and that's
I think
awesome.
it has brought people together and a bigger awareness with, so many people have lost so many family members, and I think that's helped, people just become a little bit more compassionate maybe and aware, and, hopefully we'll continue moving forward in that. And like I said, our community here is very good to us and generous. We appreciate that. Fundraising is a huge part of our thing as well. So we haven't been able to have our big fundraisers the last 2 years.
The Sane Dance has been kind of on hiatus.
The 70s dance. We hopefully, if we can, in April, if it looks like we can do that, we're gonna. We're gonna have a fun fundraiser coming up, where we're going to sell some raffle tickets.
Unpack the bell bottoms here and get them handy for the spring, maybe.
It's going to be put together pretty quickly, though, once we decide come March if we're going to be able to have it in April.
Well, let us know.
We'll throw it together. But
as soon as you know one way or another, let us know. We'll get the word out.
And I think somebody's donated a cow to us.
A cow?
A cow to process. So we're going to do a raffle.
Like it's a pet?
A pet cow. That's what Valerie said. She goes, like a real cow? So
you got a side of beef.
Yes. So we'll get. I was going to get with the person today that I think is donating that to us.
That's
and
great.
Then we'll start selling raffle tickets out in the community. And
seen the price of beef at the stores right now? I'll take a side of beef.
And we pay for the processing.
Good deal.
Of it
So all you
got
to do is have the freezer space to put it in.
Yeah, or split it with somebody,
or get some friends. Yeah.
But those seem to do well. We haven't done one of those in about 5 years now.
Good.
So
So that'll be a raffle, and then you can kind of.
Hopefully we'll get raffle tickets out.
Good. That's something you can do in
the
COVID.
community and start selling them. And
good deal.
I'll probably know about that in a week or so.
And of course, like we said, with the fact that these fundraising events can happen now more than ever, your generosity is much needed and much wanted. So don't stop cutting those checks and bringing them to the refuge, or don't stop swinging by the grocery store and picking up extra goods, or going and picking up. And if you like to donate, like health and beauty products, think family size items. The travel stuff's great, but it doesn't help the refuge as much. So grab those family size shampoo bottles and soap dispense, body washes and whatnot, things like that. Linens are always in demand.
Pajamas.
Towels, bedding, underwear, pajamas, that kind of stuff's always in demand. And when you think of foods too, like they're kind of weird on donations and things. Like they can't go out and purchase like candy and stuff. You can buy some ingredients, like they can't buy a cake, but they can buy the flour.
We're kind of
and the
restricted
sugar.
through our funding on certain food products
So
we can buy.
So if you'd like to but they can accept them as donations. So if you're like, okay, I know you can't go out and buy a bunch of M&Ms or something, but the world's a better place with M&Ms.
Right.
Here's 70 family size bags of M&Ms. You know what I mean?
And always canned goods.
Yeah.
We can always use canned goods, non-perishables, things like that.
And then when it comes to the perishable stuff, call ahead, because I know you guys have the commercial kitchen and freezer space. So depending, as long as it's been professionally processed and things, you guys can handle some of that. But that's a case-by-case call ahead and talk to the staff there about that.
Right.
Okay.
But we're definitely, I think one thing that I did hear we're in a little bit of need of is some laundry detergent and laundry soap. So
Is there a preference, like the powders, liquids, or any?
With our new washers, I don't think that the powders are very good. We used to get really large, generous donations of boxes and boxes of powder, but since we've gone to the new washers, it's kind of recommended to use liquid.
So either that or those the little drop-in tabs, or the pot. Don't eat them, but put them in your water.
Don't let your kids eat the pods either.
Yeah, that's another point. Like, are we living in a society you got to tell people not to eat
the laundry detergent?
I mean, I get it, but at some point, you're like, all right, if we got to tell you, maybe you got bigger fish to fry here. It's. I saw a story yesterday. I don't want to share because I'm just looking sensitive when I do it. But there was a story on the news yesterday. And I was like, really? We got to tell people not to do that? Come on. But anyway.
It's a little surprising sometimes.
It is.
We have things you have to post on walls not to do, or what. I'm like, that shouldn't even be a thing.
Yeah, it is. Welcome to 2022.
Yeah, absolutely.
One more thing before we go, I want to ask and have you do is. Of course, if you are a victim or if you suspect something's going on, the Roswell Refuge has a 24/7 hotline for you to call, day, night, Christmas, 2 in the morning, 2 in the night. It doesn't matter. 24/7, someone will answer this phone. And this is for anyone that wants to talk. If you are a victim and you're going through something and you just need an ear to bend, it's there for you. If you're ready to break away from the situation you're currently in, they'll help you do that. But if you just want to talk, there's no obligations, no anonymity. All of that is part of this. It's just a resource for you. And likewise, if you're thinking, all right, I'm seeing something going on, I'm not really sure what to do about it, I have questions, call this hotline, they'll give you advice. But the worst thing you can do if you suspect something is to do nothing. I know people see something that's like, well, it's not my business, and and I get that. I understand people, but when it comes to suspicion of domestic violence, that's not an excuse anymore. That's if you think something's not right there, go with your gut and do something about it. Report it to somebody. Talk to someone. Like you said, if you don't know what to do, this is what this hotline's for.
Right.
Call it. Say, hey, what's the proper channels here? How do I handle this?
Yeah.
And they'll talk to you step by step on what you need to do.
Yeah, and anybody that is looking to come into shelter, I think has maybe a thought of how secure is it? How safe will I be? And, it's extremely safe.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is confidential. We are protected federally against even having to tell police, court, anything, who's in shelter and who isn't.
You are a protector for these victims.
Nobody can come up to the window or call and say, is so-and-so there? It just absolutely wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
If it happens, somebody will be fired. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
That we take confidentiality.
Yeah, that is job one.
Number one of our job.
Your safety and security is priority one.
That is absolutely number one.
If you're looking for a place safe because you're fearing for your life, the refuge is in fact that safe place. So use it there. And then but give out, what's that number for that hotline?
575-627-8361.
And again, that's available to you 24/7. Anytime you want to call.
Every day of the year.
Every day of the year, that someone will answer that phone and help you. Now, if you've got business with the refuge, you're like, hey, I heard you on the radio, I'd like to donate some soap. How do I do that? Don't call that number. Call the office number instead, which is the number Leslie's got here.
And it's 575-624-3222.
Yeah.
And our administrative offices are at 1215 North Garden. That's also where the offender program is located, as well as if you need to do a restraining order on somebody.
Okay. Any of the legal
you
stuff.
Come to that location, and our thrift store is there as well.
They're on site as well too. So if you want to do a little shopping or
now,
if like I said, if it's big items, please call ahead and make arrangements.
Because we don't always have room.
Is Kay still running the show over there? So Kay's very meticulous about what to have, and she's a good steward of all that stuff. But she can only make so much lemonade out of lemons here. So if it's like a big bed or something that really is going to take a lot of space.
We try to take everything we can, absolutely,
but
for sure. But
what might happen is like we would love the bed, but can you hold it a couple weeks till we have a little more space?
And we don't
like
have a way to pick items up. That we get calls a lot on that.
Yeah.
I've got all this stuff. Can you pick it up? And unfortunately, we don't have any way to pick things up. But if you can bring it to us or get it to us, we'll make room and we'll find something.
Or maybe there's someone listening and you're thinking, I'd like a way to give back in the community. Volunteer. Say, hey, I'll be, you got people that need stuff picked up, call me and I'll go get it for them. If you've got the wherewithal to do that and would love to help, that'd be a huge asset to the Roswell Refuge. And that's something simple. You're thinking, well, how do I get involved? I'm not good at, fine. Can you you have a pickup truck, you can drive it, go pick up some furniture and drop it off for them. And you just saved a life. And that's what we're talking about here. It's
that'd be wonderful.
Many hands, little work. That's
no generosity is too small of an
absolutely.
effort.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why it doesn't go unnoticed or underappreciated. So your random acts of kindness, no matter how small, are always a good thing and always appreciated. So keep doing that, because the more people that do that, the less bad stuff that happens.
Yeah, that is.
Kill them with kindness. You ever heard that saying? That's exactly what you do.
And even gift cards, to Walmart, Target, anywhere. If somebody drops off gift cards, we make sure we go give those directly straight to our clients in shelter. And that helps them a lot too. That way, they're able to get what they really need. And
absolutely.
So anything, take $1.
Absolutely.
Good.
Every little bit helps.
It does.
Well, thank you, ladies. Appreciate the visit.
Thank you
Is there
for having
anything
us.
we missed that we wanted to cover? Did we get it all?
So I think we did everything.
Good deal. We'll see you here next month. And then, of course, as we finalize plans for spring and dancing and stuff, let us know, and we'll get the word out there.
I will definitely do that and give you a little buzz when I know about the raffle for the cow.
Very good. And folks, and like I said, if you need help, call that number. Reach out.
Absolutely.
It's there to help you. For many people and for folks that don't understand why victims are victims, please just understand that you don't know what you're talking about, and just kind of let it because that's part of what the problem with domestic violence. Why don't you just leave if you don't get it? It's a control thing. Right. It's a whole. And they're really breaking away from their life. They're not breaking away from an abuser. They're breaking away from their entire life.
Well, and it's something that certainly happens over a progressive time. It's not one day this has happened and the next day that's happened.
Exactly.
I mean, that just doesn't happen that way.
And
everybody can please follow us on Facebook too and like our page.
Absolutely.
We put a lot of information out there. We try to. And
it's under Roswell Refuge.
It's just Roswell Refuge.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
And let's put them out of a job. I want to put you out of a job.
I would love to be out of a job. I would love to be out of a job. Absolutely. So.
I hope you get paid enough, but this job you don't need anymore. Yeah. So, thank you, ladies. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Happy New Year, and we'll see you next time. Okay.
All right.
Take care. It is 9:55.
The man was finally apprehended. His name is not yet released. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
Hey, remember how 20 years ago I switched to Progressive? Well, now it's the future, and I used all those savings to buy this new hologram phone. Because, it's the future, and everything is holograms now.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
Yes, Miss Tubbs. No problem. I'll call someone about the plumbing.
One of Beatrice's properties needs a new superintendent. Someone with handyman superpowers and a concierge alter ego.
Does anyone know any good electricians near Parkville?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Linen can absorb up to 20 times its weight in moisture before it feels damp. Now, you don't have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom anymore. Here's Mike Winters.
And that's going to do it for us for today's show. Thank you very much for allowing us to be a part of your day. Have an amazing day. If you missed any part of our show, you can catch it at your leisure. KSVPTV.com there in the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow with our Friday McDonald's show as we eat food and make you jealous. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you bright and early tomorrow. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. Take care, everybody.